Moneyline and prop wagers made at the Meadowlands Racetrack's FanDuel Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook in North America. 21 plus to wager and present in New Jersey. Gambling problem, dial 1-800-GAMBLER. The Yankees down 1-0 in their best-of-3 wild card series with the Red Sox. Boston scoring the final 3 runs of the game in a 3-1 win last night at the stadium. The Yankees unable to get to Garrett Crochet other than a home run from Anthony Volpe early. He then set down the next 17 in a row. Meantime, you had Max Fried go a solid 6 1/3 scoreless innings. Luke Weaver came on, got nobody out. A walk, a couple of hits, gave up 2 runs. Weaver assessing his performance.
I felt like my outing overall was competitive. I felt like all my pitches were thrown to the areas I wanted to. I mean, they weren't perfect, but every outing's never perfect. I felt like I was very competitive. They put a good approach together, put the ball in play, and found the holes.
And tonight, Carlos Rodon takes the ball, a must-win for the Yankees. BT?
I got to tell you, I try not to react too much to the tone and the inflection of what people say. It bothered me driving in here and you play that with Boomer and Gio. Can you sound a little more agitated? He was pleased with the way you sucked last night.
I know.
You cost your team the game, Weaver.
Seemed way too satisfied. We'll have the game for you on the Fan. First pitch 6:08, a win, and there'll be a game 3, a loss, and the Yankee season is over.
I like Luke Weaver.
He's such a jerk. The Dodgers beat the Reds 10-5, comes over the Padres 3-1. Tigers edge the Guardians 2-1. Those series continue. The Browns changing their starting quarterback, going from Joe Flacco to rookie Dylan Gabriel this weekend. This report brought to you by Moderna. It's 60 in Central Park. That's what's happening. And Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
This city lives and breathes sports. WFAN is where Yankees fans argue with Mets fans and Giants fans debate Jets fans. Live, loud, and daily. The Fan, 101.9 FM and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps. It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan, 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Oh, the Yanks dropped game 1 BT in excruciating fashion, and for me, I thought that was a horribly managed game from pregame to finish by the Yankees, not just Aaron Boone, but by the Yankees overall.
That last night was an absolute unmitigated disaster and completely unacceptable on every level. And I got to tell you, and of course we'll focus on Boone pulling Fried, clearly, right? But the manager, the clutch hitting versus good pitching, the bullpen, and Aaron Judge's arm. All things that as a Yankee fan you had to be concerned about, maybe varying degrees of fear or concern for each of those 4 different things. But those 4 things had Yankee fans worried, and rightfully so. Now, here's the thing. I get it. When somebody, and we're going to get to the calls, and, Boone messed up. I got it. I'm not even mad at Boone. I'm mad at the Yankees organization. I do think, and this is just me, you guys do whatever you want, but as you're going to call us up and probably mostly destroy the manager, understand that sadly this was mapped out before they even stepped foot on the baseball field. This was to the point where, hey, if Fried is really good and he gets into the 7th and they're at this part of the batting order, then maybe we go to Williams, or if it's the lower part we go to Weaver, or if he gets ripped up early, maybe we go to Cruz in the 5th. Like, this was so pre-planned, and to me, that's what bothers me about Luke Weaver did not do his job. Awful job. But to me, it's less, and I'm not just blindly defending Boone. Please, I want to at least preemptively say that. Aaron Boone in the playoffs is okay. Like, he's not where he needs to be. Last night was on the organization that for some reason remains married to these stupid numbers more than anybody.
Yeah, but it was predictable. Like, we debated this yesterday. Okay, well, what's going to happen when you're in a tight spot? Literally, I said to you, do you leave Fried in longer? Or would you rather leave him in longer and potentially get burnt, or take him out sooner? And obviously their plan, predetermined. Boone is not absolved of this. He's the manager. So yes, it is bigger than Aaron Boone. He's the manager. He managed an awful game last night. I don't want to say that, but it's the truth. It was an awful game. We talked about the lineup yesterday. I don't care how'd those numbers work out? How'd the analytics work out? How'd Rosario do against a lefty? Like, you could give me, it's Garrett Crochet. Yeah, obviously. Well, that's why I'd rather go down with Jazz Chisholm as opposed opposed to Ahmed Rosario, who is a bit player. Like, oh, he mashes lefties. Oh, he's 6 for 9 against Crochet. Oh, how'd that work out last night? So take your data and your analytics, and you know what to do with it. I don't want to hear it. To have Ben Rice not get in that game is inexcusable last night. Inexcusable. Figure out a way. I don't want to. The Yankees are the ones who said Ben Rice is a good catcher. Why isn't he in the game? How'd Austin Wells do last night? So now that's not the sole reason they lost, but that is a horribly managed game. And to me, the main issue, aside from the predetermined lineup and the matchups, which is just horse crap, I can't take it. It's not the Yankees, it's everybody. But the Yankees do it.
They do it more.
Yeah,
they do it more.
Well, it gets accentuated because the Yankees are the most successful of the bunch, and they're always in the postseason, and it gets magnified in the postseason. They're generally successful in the regular season. Then when push comes to shove in the postseason, and a decision like that can kill you because you're playing against a dangerous team, it kills them. This could have been seen coming 10 miles away. We knew what was going to happen. Max Fried was going to be in a spot where it's going to be like, I don't know. And Boone can make logical statements saying like, well, he didn't look as good. He was tiring a little bit. You're at the bottom of the order. Would you rather take a chance with Luke Weaver, who has sucked this year? I don't care who they're facing. And he went over. He refrained from saying the word lame last night. Boone did in the postgame.
They were standing on the broadcast.
Yeah,
they said it 3 times.
Purposely, he didn't say it because, we joke about the bowling and all that stuff. They wanted Weaver in a spot that they felt was, he could be successful.
A softer landing.
Bingo. I would, if I'm going to get killed, I'm going to get killed with my $218 million ace, even if he's tired. Like, no bleep, he's tiring. Obviously, every pitcher as they go on gets tired, whether it's Crochet in the 8th, whether it's Fried in the 6th, or 7th, doesn't matter. Every pitcher gets tired. Would you rather go down with your $218 million ace against the bottom of the order or a reliever who has not been good this year?
No, we know the answer. There's no question. It's an easy one. And by the way, Cora ran circles around Aaron Boone last night because by extending Crochet, you kept Ben Rice nailed to the bench because you went lefty-lefty because there was nothing between that. So by stretching him out to 117 pitches, they only had to get 4 outs from the bullpen. The Yankees had to get 8, which obviously was a massive disadvantage to the Yankees. And by the way, I got to say this too, right? So, and I, as angered as I am by last night, I'm just channeling it in a little bit of a different direction because I know that it's this collaborative thing which drives me insane. So I'm just trying to make sure I channel this properly. You know what I'm saying? But so last night, with the 117 to 102 disparity, with Crochet going 15 more pitches than Max Fried, did you understand? I don't know that everybody knows this, that during the regular season, Crochet averaged 99, this is important stuff, 99 pitches a game. 99, which is the most in baseball this past season. 99, so they let him go 18 more than he averages. Max Fried, by the way, was second in baseball, right behind Crochet, averaging 97.3, and the Yankees get the quick hook and get him out. Now, the one thing that does, and I know we're going to be loud and yell and be nuts, and that's what we do on a day like this, because there's a lot of blame to go around, a lot. But you have to. Now, you don't have to accept it, but you have to at least incorporate the 6-pitch, 6th inning that the Yankees meekly went down against Crochet, enabled him to obviously go longer, where in the top of the 4th, Fried threw 24 pitches, in the top of the 5th he threw 19, and in the top of the 6th he threw 20. Now, he kept trying, think about it, as a lefty, he kept trying to do that backdoor curveball, which was missing by a mile. Again, it's not like they didn't even let him face the lefty Durant to get the first out, which they did. And if Ben Rice is playing first base, he doesn't make that play. Although I'm with you on the Rosario stuff and Jazz. I got you. I didn't have an issue with Goldschmidt, who played well.
Well, we could get more into that.
I know. There's so many different layers here. But to me, because, and he has said this all year, Boone, when a pitcher labors in an inning, it's generally going to be the end. And we could disagree with it, but this is what they've done. And they are now a loss away from the most, I think this becoming one of the most empty seasons for the Yankees in a long time, because this particular team, as I've said in the last week or so, last 5 weeks, has a chance to get to and win a World Series, which is why, and I know I'm getting a little long here, my bad, but the other thing that has to be said, And I heard this a lot on TV last night. Wow. And on social media. Oh, the Yankees have to establish their bullpen. Otherwise, they're not going to win a World Series. If you don't win this series, there is no World Series. So give Luke Weaver a chance to figure it out in the divisional series or in game 2 or 3 when you're up by a couple of runs with some tightrope in case he trips, which he has a lot this year.
Look, the series is far from over. But
I
don't want to go there yet. Just in last night in isolation, there's a decision to be made, and it's a tough decision. And I'm not basing this just on the results. To me, that is foolish because the results don't go one way. Oh, you pounce on Aaron Boone. They, the Yankees organization and Boone, made the decision to say, we think Max Fried is tired. They made this in the 6th inning, okay? It was predetermined. He talked to him in the dugout. I said, can you give me one more? So it was already, I'm moving on. I'm going to try to squeeze one more out of you to get the lefty Duran, and that's exactly what happened. They made the decision to take their ace out because they didn't think he had enough left to get through the bottom of the order in favor of Luke Weaver. That's something that I wouldn't have done. Now, I could have stuck with Max Fried, or they could have stuck with Max Fried, and he might have gotten hit. I would not be sitting here today saying, you got to get him out of that game going to Luke Weaver. It's not about the result. It's about, you could see this coming 10 miles away, how the Yankees have been, to me, pre-active in taking their pitchers out, especially in this case where we're talking about Fried. This is not Rodon or Heel or Schlittler. Dude, this is, if you're going to go ride with somebody, Fried's the guy to push. He didn't ask out, even if he didn't say, well, no, I want the damn ball. You push him. Let him get through because Weaver hasn't had it. That's a game that's got to go, just like from the Red Sox perspective. That had to go from Crochet to Chapman, end of story. They had to win the game, and they did. This had to go from Fried to your most trusted bullpen arms. And by the way, like Bednar gave it up. Okay, it happens. But the decision to go to Luke Weaver, to me, did not make sense. In real time, I'm listening to it. I was actually shocked. I was driving home listening to it.
You were shocked. See, I was disappointed. I wasn't shocked, though.
I was shocked that they're pulling Max Fried in that spot for Luke Weaver.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because I knew that this was going to happen because Luke Weaver hasn't been good this year. Like, from a perspective of, if you're a Red Sox or rooting for the Red Sox, I try to give you the alternate perspective, right? Mm-hmm. You wanted Fried out of that game.
Yeah, and Weaver's the guy that you wanted in the game at that point.
Bingo! You did them a favor there. Push one more inning and get to your higher leverage guys. And that was just one bad decision from not only the manager, but the Yankees organization. We went over the lineup. How do you justify getting Jazz Chisholm in that game later in the game if your whole logic is sitting him out? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Many faces, and he had a little weak fly ball that Goldschmidt couldn't take up on.
That's one spot where you'd actually have Rosario up against Chapman, where that might be a favorable matchup. If your theory is, and clearly it was, we know Jazz is a better player than Rosario, okay? But if your logic is that you wanted the righty matchup with Rosario against lefties, did Boone and the Yankees not anticipate that Chapman was going to be next? Why the hell would you double switch at that spot? That made no sense.
It was very, very sloppy. Again, the main thing is the Fried stuff, but the thing that I think's really bothered Yankee fans over the years, right, aside from maybe not being good enough, having the wrong roster, Cashman, Boone decisions, whatever, is that they don't hit great pitching. When it's time to step up and hit double in the gap against a stud closer, against an ace Cy Young type winner who's on the ropes, they just very infrequently, too infrequently, get that hit. Base hit, base hit, base hit. Bases juiced. Bases juiced with nobody out. I'm sitting there saying, Yanks going to win 5-3. They're going to win this game going away. And I'll tell you, the first pitch, now, I mean, Stanton's been a rock star in the postseason.
Yeah,
it's one game. He was awful. And the center fielder was worse. Those at bats by Grisham were absolutely were non-competitive at bats. But the first pitch to Stanton, and you guys will remember this, he took a check swing on a ball that was out of the zone and he kind of fouled it off, set the whole tone for the at-bat. But the Yankees deserved to lose last night because they had a chance to win it with a clutch hit. They didn't. The manager was a mess last night, and the bullpen stunk, and here we are.
Real quick, it's the same stuff because behind Aaron Judge, the guys did not get the job done. Judge, and by the way, when Judge gets a single, like I'm not knocking him, he had a couple of singles, that's a win for the opposition. Aaron Judge singling is not a win for the Yankees. That's like a walk. It's like you're pitching around him. Okay, and in that spot, now again, you're not going to knock him because he's got a couple of base hits, but that, if you're Cora, you'd sign for that every single time. Judge hitting a single, not wrecking the game, so be it. Let me go get the next guys. And the guys behind him didn't get it done. It was imperative last night, especially against Crochet Crochet, there were two guys in the lineup that you really trusted to do damage. Judge, Stanton. Stanton had opportunity. He did not do it. Beyond that, you look at the lineup and you say, well, Grisham, yeah, he was awful. Okay, negated against lefty. Well, he's the guy that got fat on bad pitching for the most part in the regular season. No Jazz, no Ben Rice. What would you expect? I mean, you got Caballero in there. You got Austin Wells in there at the bottom of the order. I know Volpe hit the home run, whatever. He had a good night. But look at the lineup that the Yankees put out there in game one. You cannot be surprised that they didn't score a ton of runs. Now, I would be surprised if they didn't do it tonight. It's Crochet. He's great. Probably weren't scoring a ton anyway. But that lineup last night was not the typical Yankee lineup, and that's because they chose to sit their best guys because they thought they were bad matchups.
Well, one more thing for me, and I don't want to go too hard on Fried here because he was amazing, but I would love a little pushback. Like, no, I'm good. I don't just want Duran. I'm good. If I get him, give me another guy. Let me go batter to batter. I would have liked a little resistance from your ace there, and I know that's more of an old school thing, like David Wells would do that with Torrey. Rodon's done that once in a while with Boone. He even told us that. But I think part of the problem where somebody like Fried, who's new, it's already so assumed and baked into the Yankees' logic and the way they do this and structure the bullpen with the data that I don't think that Fried really thought that he even really had the latitude to go and say, no, Skip, let me go. Like that human moment where you're exchanging. I don't mean that you're berating your manager, but you were clearly letting him know without saying I'm better than Luke Weaver. This is my game. Give me more than Durant. If I get him out, give me more. And Fried didn't do that. You can tell. He parsed his words in the postgame. He was mad at himself. He was angered a little bit by Boone for pulling him, but I would have liked to see a little resistance from the A's. Demand to stay in there.
Ken is calling from Floral Park. Our friends at Town Fair Tire, by the way, Ken, our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Go ahead, Ken. Sorry.
Kenny.
Hey, no, that's okay, guys. Great show, and you guys took a lot of my thunder. BT, I said this in real time last night, exactly as the way I said it in the World Series when he pulled Nestor Cortez I brought in Cortez instead of bringing in
Against Freeman. Yep.
The game has a heartbeat. You have got to use your eyes and see what's going on.
No, but hold on. But let me just, he did. He did. He chose. See, this is why, this to me was not about data and analytics. Boone. No, because I think Boone chose to use his eyes and say he believes Fried was done and chose instead to trust Luke Weaver. That's where I disagree with him. I would have gone down with even a tired Fried, but his decision wasn't just based on analytics. It was based on him saying, I think Fried is done. I'd rather go with Luke Weaver in that spot.
But hold on, Kenny.
All right,
Kenny, one second. Ken, hold on, Ken.
But the bottom line, but Fried said in the post game, he said I had more to give. And here's the thing: you got the guy. You could see it's the bottom of the order. Well, that's one thing that drove me nuts. At the time, you got to go with your ace. You got to push the ace. You just have to do that. That was horrible. The second thing is what you said, Sal. You stole my thunder. How do you double switch for Jazz Chisholm, who, by the way, turned his back on the media?
We'll get to that.
We're gonna get to
what
it.
A disgrace, Sal. What an absolute disgrace. So he double switches him, and his reason in the post game for double switching him is the righty reliever was in, so we had to put Jazz in. You knew Chapman was already in the game. Why would you put Jazz up in his spot like that?
Just defensive replay. It was defensive. Yeah, that made no sense. And thank you for the call, Ken. Good stuff there. There's so much to break down here. Can't wait to get to it all. But I would just say before we get to the Jazz stuff, which we can do, we'll take a break and come back and get to that. I think the Yankees lineup was clearly data and analytics, and while I think that they clearly went over, they do this all the time. This is nothing new about, hey, in this spot, who would you go to? Which lane do you like Weaver in? Clearly, and this has been a thing for a while, it's why Luke Weaver did have a little bit of success. They were using him in softer spots in that lineup. So Boone was antsy he thought that Fried was done and figured, okay, well, I could use Weaver in this spot against the bottom of the order, and maybe it's a safer spot. That, to me, though, was not predetermined. It wasn't like, well, he threw 100 pitches, let's get him out after 6 innings. I think it was more what he had seen the entire game and thinking that he could trust Weaver in that spot against the lineup more than he could have tired Max Fried.
I think that that's part of it, but I also think that because it's so mapped out and predetermined that maybe you lean into – you're already – you're already predisposed to make a move, so like almost your eyes deceive you. Now, I'm not saying that Max Fried looked incredibly fresh because as I gave you before, the back-to-back innings were fairly laborious. With one of them was 24 pitches, and that's not just a Yankee thing. Generally, when you get over 20 pitch threshold in an inning, that's where the antennas go up in terms of getting ready to pull you. But I just think of it like if it was the other way. I think if this was the 1970s and there was no analytics, then I think that because Boone would at that point 50 years ago be predisposed to letting his horse go, that he wouldn't have been fooled by. He just would have had a different read. I believe that. But listen, there was a lot at play here. Dropping Grisham, which I know a lot of people didn't like, and I was okay with it, from first to sixth. That you can't get on him for that because he had 4 strikeouts. He looked awful. Sitting Ben Rice. Now, Ben Rice not getting in the game as a pinch hitter over Wells, we can question that. But Goldschmidt had 2 knocks and made a play at first base on Duran with the flip to Fried that Ben Rice is not going to make. I can't go crazy on that.
But those are the
I'm just saying I can't go crazy on that.
But it's results-based.
Understood.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go crazy on that. The Caballero thing, he had a couple of good competitive at-bats. He hit 105 on the nose that was an out, and he played good defense. The real thing is Grisham, which, is Jazz. And we need to get to that coming up, because not only was the logic illogical, but you may have lost a hell of a player because he looked like he did not want to be in that clubhouse last night post-game.
Just getting started, BT and Sal on the Fan. Stop dealing with your neck pain, backache, sciatica, and go to Dr. Jay Shah at Samwell Institute for Pain Management, a migraine and nerve pain specialist who gets you back to feeling yourself again with minimally invasive and non-surgical treatments. There are thousands of 5-star reviews who trust Dr. J for pain-relieving solutions. Same-day and next-day appointments available with offices in Colonia, Livingston, and Englewood, New Jersey. Turn to Samwell Pain for effective pain-relieving solutions. Visit SamwellPain.com.
Wild card game 1 went Boston's way.
To take a 1-0 lead in this best-of-3 series.
Now the Bombers' backs are against the wall as game 2 is a win or lights-out situation.
We've been playing with a lot on the line seemingly every single day. We'll be ready to go, and I expect us to come out and get one.
Catch all the postseason excitement here on your exclusive home for everything New York Yankees. Tune in for Game 2, 6:08 tonight. Driven by Jeep, 101.9 FM WFAN. And always live on the free Odyssey app.
Mnexspike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna is now available and easy to find near you. To learn more, visit mnexspike.com. That's MNEXSPIKE.com.
Want fast, reliable home internet? Switch to Verizon Fios, where you get the 100% fiber optic network with speeds up to 2 gig. And if you're looking for live TV with up to 400 plus channels and live sports, Fios TV is where it's at. Get the internet speed you want and the TV you love when you bundle Fios home internet and TV with Verizon. Plus, get the latest deals when you call 1-883-VERIZON and switch to Verizon Fios today. Availability varies.
We could tell you what it's like to drive the Nissan Rogue and tell you all about its performance capabilities, like its VC turbo engine, its impressive fuel economy. Still going. It's I can go virtually anywhere type of freedom. Nice. But you don't have to take our word for it. Go drive it for yourself. You're up. Experience the power of the Nissan Rogue.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue, Pathfinder, or Murano. For well-qualified buyers, example 0 down payment. 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to Nissan Motor Acceptance Company credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 11/3/25.
For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Lunch was great. Greenwich Village is a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexity of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
Flushing Bank is building rewarding relationships in New York. Visit FlushingBank.com.
Tell Siri to dial the fan. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
All right. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, welcome to the jungle. Welcome to the jungle, well.
BT and Sal back on the fan on this Wednesday morning after a disastrous Yankees loss last night. I mean, look, disastrous. Any postseason loss is going to sting. And there's a bigger picture issue here. Not winning the division put the Yankees in this predicament where now they lost the game to Garrett Crochet and the Red Sox, which you could see coming. Like that was going to be the toughest game. Red Sox had to win. I'm still not convinced that this series is over yet by any stretch of the imagination. Boone all but guaranteed the Yankees are going to win tonight. We could get into that a little bit later on, but you got to rehash and unpack last night's game because there was a lot to do. So we touched on a little bit with Jazz. I did have an issue with the lineup. No Rice, no Jazz. Figured out. Those are two of your best offensive players. However, I did have an issue with the way that Jazz did get into the game, and I had a bigger issue with the way Jazz handled himself in the post game. Now, I don't think it's an issue with Jazz and Boone. That's not like, I don't think this is big, like, ooh, Jazz doesn't like the manager and the Yankees have some issue here. But the way he dealt with the media, Jazz, after the game, turning his back, to me is just selfish and immature. Like, just face the music. Just simply explain what went on. I was out of the lineup. I wish I could help the team more. You did get an at-bat, by the way, in a big spot. And what do you do? So I don't want to hear tough talk Jazz talking about the Yankees are best. You had a chance to break the game open there, and he failed. So I don't want to hear about it from Jazz, and I'd like to hear it with his face turned to the media, not with his back turned being disrespectful.
Very childish there. Disappointing. I think Jazz's energy has been great for this team. I think it's been infectious over the years, and we've known this for quite a long time. The Yankees have become very corporate. That's changed a little bit, and that's good. I mean, you got some guys that have some energy here, but for too long it was like, all right, coming in, even when they had really good players, coming in, punching the clock. And the Yankee way is a great thing, but I also think there's something to be said for, so that youthful exuberance, that little jagged edge and that unpredictability, which the Yankee roster too often lacked. So Jazz being Jazz, even like the neon belt and the way he wears his uniform, I think he's very, very much, he's got great individuality. And I think that that's very good for this team. I think it loosens him up. But but you got to know better. You know, he's not a rookie. He didn't just get to New York a month ago. It's a bad look. And I was even a little disappointed. Now, maybe he's got to dig deeper into it, and I'm sure he'll do the right thing behind closed doors. I even thought that Aaron Judge kind of glossed over at postgame. Not that it's, I know he's got other things on his mind here, but, you know, he said it really wasn't a big deal. I respectfully disagree. I do think it's at least a big enough deal where you could have said, hey, listen, that's not how we act, and I know Jazz is better than that, and I'll have to talk with him. We're good to go, and he's going to be ready to play tomorrow night. You don't do, Jeter never did that. You know, nobody does that. So it's not, and then just with the hangers, it was just childish.
It was childish. Now, I don't know if he was more mad at Boone, more mad at the loss, more mad at himself because he failed in the ninth inning.
You know what it was. It was that he didn't start. That's absolutely what it was.
No, I think it might have been because he failed in the ninth inning.
I don't think so.
Big bad Jazz running his mouth like the Yankees are the best team ever. Well, how about you change the narrative? You got an opportunity. He had a golden opportunity in the game, even though he didn't start, BT. He had a chance to change everything.
I'm not disagreeing with that. There's no doubt. And that was a very lazy fly ball. There's no question. He didn't get the job done.
And I know it's a tough at bat. I'm just saying,
yeah, that is a tough at bat. But I think it's more that he felt disrespected. I just, if he just had like a terse response or he was just, very short.
But
whatever.
Then why not voice that? Like the Yankees,
he could. Maybe he thought if I go too much and I look at the cameras, I'm going to say the wrong thing and make it worse. So maybe there was self-awareness, but it was still a childish optic. I think all of that was based on the fact that his behind was nailed to the bench to start the game.
Right, but it is reported on Andy Martino of SNY.TV wrote a column on this. It was reported that the Yankee people were there was no issue. Jazz wasn't ticked off that he was being benched. Now, he might have been hurt, but he understood it, and there were no known issues of him being upset that he wasn't in the starting lineup before the game. So to act like that, I'm not sure. And then Andy, by the way, went to Judge and showed him the video of how Judge reacted. Judge did say that he basically, it's going to cause outside drama, but they'll handle it eternally. I don't think it's a big deal. Like, ooh, drama in the clubhouse.
No,
I just thought it was a childish, immature way for a major league player to respond like that. And he did get an opportunity and he failed. Like, that's where the focus should be. But if he were really that upset, then why would you accept it from the manager to begin with? Like, don't act out to the media after the fact. You should fight to the manager and be like, no, I want to play. Or at least people in the organization might have felt like he wasn't happy about it. And by the way, it's his right if he doesn't want to be happy about it. But that should be before the fact, not after the fact.
Well, I'm trying to personalize this. And I know you got to be a pro and you got to, act the right way understood here. But if I had 30 steals and 30 bombs, and I'm not, and I always play against lefties. Again, I'm putting myself in Jazz Chisholm's shoes. He started, I think, 31 of the last 34 games against lefties. What other major? Think about this, guys. What other Major League Baseball team would sit down somebody willingly in a very short series where if you lose 2, you're done with a guy who cranked out 30 home runs and runs like the wind?
Who
else is doing that besides the Yankees?
2 of their best offensive players were on the bench.
Yeah. But again, the Rice thing. I know you're more results oriented.
You can make an argument for it. Sure. I'm just saying that I have a hard. I texted Boone about this 2 days ago, or whatever it was. Just wish him good luck with it.
Yeah.
Said I have a hard time with no Rice in there.
Fair enough.
So it's not like this is before all of it, and I understand why you can say mathematically or data-wise or logically why he isn't in there. But then don't tell me that he's going to be a good catcher and everybody believes he's a great catcher. And I've seen him offensively. I'd rather roll with him. I don't care if it's a nasty matchup. Crochet's a nasty matchup for everybody. And by the way, even if you leave Rice out of it for a second, and I would have found a way to pinch hit him later in I'd rather have him up against Chapman than even Grisham or Jazz for that matter. But if you're going to, if you want to get Rosario in there, why not play Rosario at third? And have Jazz play second? And at least, you don't need to start Caballero and Rosario. Start one or the other.
Well, I know that Boone said that third base is actually Caballero's best defensive position. Okay. That's his opinion. I mean, he handled it well last time at third base. So
either way, you're losing defense if you take McMahon out.
But you're also, here's the other thing, and this does need to be said because this is just sloppy on Boone's part. When they, and you kind of reference this, but we got to at least hit this more. When you put Jazz in when they did, you knew he was going to get up against the lefty. Okay, so you're already...
Well, you have to think it's a strong possibility.
Yeah, and so it's already a miscalculation, and you put him in for defensive purposes. Well, if that's the case...
Without a lead,
and you're putting him in there with a ground ball pitcher. So if you're putting him in there for defensive purposes before he even gets up to bat, then why not have him start the game and get forward bats and maybe have him run into one against a lefty? That doesn't make any sense.
Also, do some math here. And again, this is not results-based. This is a first guess here. If you started Jazz and you had Rosario at third, you could also use Caballero to pinch hit against Chapman in a spot later in the game. Or
pinch run for Stanton.
Whatever. Fair enough. I'm just saying,
if he gets on.
He's a weapon off the bench, but you also could have, Chapman's looming, like you burned all your righties in the beginning of the game. You took one of them out.
Yep.
Like, how do you go through the ninth inning with the life on the line? Stanton goes down, and then you end up having exactly what you tried to avoid by having Jazz and Grisham against the nasty lefty.
Back to back.
Your whole plan, which I didn't like to begin with, ended up blowing up in your face anyway because you had the same guy. You tried to avoid it, and it happened in the ninth inning with the bases loaded. Bases loaded, and nobody had. You can't score a run. You got two lefties up against a nasty lefty. Like, that just shows you playing the numbers and playing the matchups. It is not. This is not, to me, results based. This is a first guess. I'd rather have Rice go in there and strike out 4 times, but at least I know I'm getting a chance with Ben Rice in the lineup, or Jazz, whatever you want to say, than the way the Yankees handle that lineup pregame. BT and Sal on the Fan. Giovanni calling from Baltimore. What's up, Giovanni?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How we doing today?
Good. How are you?
What's happening, bud?
I got 2 things. All right. So I'm gonna be a little bit biased on the Jazz thing. I think if Judge would have if Boone would have started him, we wouldn't have that issue that we had post game. I might be wrong.
I agree with you.
But I'm gonna be I would be a little biased. But I'm gonna tell you the difference and why I think this series is over. Because I feel like Alex Cora came into this series with a plan, and Boone is too dependent on these analytics. And why I say that is because I promise you that Alex Cora went into that pre-game and told Crochet, when I come out to that bullpen, my goal is to take the ball out of your hands and give it to Chapman. So whatever you do tonight, you're going to get the ball to Chapman.
Yeah, but
I'm going to live,
but Giovanni,
and I'm going to die with you.
Sorry to cut you off here, but it's an important point. Crochet was better than Fried last night. Like, if the Yankees had Crochet, he was pitching deeper into that game. Like, that's an important point.
But Sal, hear me out on this part. This is a 3-game series. Max is not pitching again. So why are you not just going down with your guy? Why are you not looking at Alex Cora across the field and say, hey, if Crochet comes out that dugout, until you put a hit on my guy's coming out of my dugout. Because you have to, because you're not getting a second chance. And I promise you that Cora told his offensive team that he said, hey, I need you guys to outlast Fried. Because if we get to the bullpen, we're beating this team. That's all I need you to do.
Yeah.
I just need you to outlast that pitcher.
That's a good call, man.
If we get to the bullpen, we're going to win. And that's what happened.
Yep.
And you're right. Jazz should have started. And I'll say this. Wells started because maybe the relationship between him and Fried, it might work out, whatever the case.
He's a better catcher than Rice.
Right. But if Fried comes out the game, Rice automatically comes in. Hey, Wells, good gig, good try, but you're done for the rest of the
Here's what I don't get. Giovanni, good call. Really good call. All right. So when you proactively chase something, right, it's got to be incredibly reliable to justify doing the things that you do to get there. And what I mean by that is, if you're trying to get to Stanton and Nelson and Mariano, or even before that, Mariano and Wetland like in 96, that's one equation. I understand that a lot more, even though, the Torrey would have given Pettit and Clemens and El Duque more role. We know that, but it's also a different era. To proactively try to get to the bullpen with guys that we don't trust is asinine.
Yeah, see, that's where I thought he made his mistake. Where you could argue, to me, Crochet versus Fried is not a good argument. Crochet was better, so it's easier to keep him in the game longer. If Crochet was maybe looking the way that Fried did, maybe Cora pulls him sooner. I have no idea how it would have played out, but I do know that it's much easier to leave Crochet in the game, who was clearly dominating, than it was Fried, who was playing with a little bit of fire. So that's Boone's logic. I would not have done that. If I am Aaron Boone, I'd say, yeah, I know you look tired, and I know he's been on the ropes a little bit here. I'm going with my horse to get through the bottom of this order to get me to the 8th inning. That's what I would have done. I understand why he felt he wanted to do something different. I would not have trusted. I would have trusted a tired Max Fried more than I would a fresh Luke Weaver. And I think that's the issue where Boone trusted a fresh bullpen arm against the bottom of the order instead of relying on his ace horse, his starter.
I don't know how anybody pushes back on that. I mean, that is a basic statement that I would have to think that every Yankee fan would have to co-sign.
But
everyone.
But he's going to the logic behind it is not just, well, he's at 100 pitches. It was he, in his mind, thought that Fried was, for lack of a better term, done.
And he was laboring, but again, it gets down to
what would you rather have?
Laboring Fried or a fresh Weaver.
Correct.
And that's the root of the disagreement.
Forget the data, forget the analytics, forget the matchups there. Would you, if you are managing the New York Yankees in that spot, rather go down by putting Fried out there too long and gives up a home run to the 8-9 hitters, whatever it may be, or get him out proactively, to use your term, and get to the bullpen? We said this before the game. I'm going to say it during the game. I'm going to say it after the game. I'm letting Max Fried get beat before I take him out. And it can't be I think he's done. I need to know that he's done when I'm pulling him out of the game.
At the very least, you got to give him the 8-hitter, man. I was a good play by Goldschmidt, great play by Fried. So his legs weren't tired. He beat Durant to the bag, who is a blur running. He's at like 15, 16 triples. He's an absolute whiz on the bases. So wrong move, and it came back to burn the Yankees. And I still feel really good about it. We'll get to that later. Really good about tonight. I think Game 2, if there is a Game 3, both pitching matchups favor the Yankees. But something else we got to get to, and that's Judge's defense in right field. There's a lot of layers here. We'll get to them all. BT and Sal, 888-808-1019, of course, on the Fan. Yanks down 1-0. Hey, Total Orthopedics, Long Island's premier orthopedic practice, whether it's a sports-related injury or something maybe a little more complex, Total Ortho has you covered with locations throughout Long Island, Queens, and now West Orange, New Jersey. Don't struggle with pain or injuries and get fast expert care from the leading orthopedic doctors, including the #1 spine doctor on Long Island. Visit TotalOrthoSportsMed.com and schedule an appointment today. It's Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experts at getting you back to being you.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Already several startups are applying their artificial intelligence research and development to the football industry. So what can AI do right now? It can harness machine learning to pull scouting information from football tape, saving coaches hours of tedious late-night grinding. John Gruden's not going to like this. When AI, quote, watches game film, it can discern pre-snap formations and create call sheets noting otherwise hidden tendencies and opportunities. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Is your everyday congestion preventing you from enjoying life's big moments? Try Vicks Sinex Saline today and get yourself back in the action. Vicks Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion with a gentle ultrafine mist. Sinex Saline's drug-free, no-mess formula instantly moisturizes and soothes dry, irritated nasal passages for quick and effective relief. Get back to enjoying life's big moments to the fullest without having to worry about everyday congestion holding you back. Just Sinex, breathe, use as directed.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
FanDuel's getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet $5 and get $300 back in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. Build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines. Whatever your style is, FanDuel's got you covered. The NFL season is officially here and back. The only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/BT and download the FanDuel app today and get started. That's FanDuel.com/BT. We love the app around here. It is safe and secure, and when you win, get paid right away. FanDuel's the official partner of us here at WFAN. 21 plus and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Michelin Winter Tires offer confidence in all types of winter conditions. And Town Fair Tire offers every long-lasting, fuel-efficient Michelin tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services for life with your purchase of Michelin Winter Tires to keep you going for years to come. For the guaranteed best deal on Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices.
Town Fair Tire.
4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance. Others drive them for the range. And some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever your reason, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. Escalade IQ, Vistic, Optic, and Lyric. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today.
Long Island is brewing some spooky fun at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. We're celebrating this October for our $50,000 Witchy Wednesdays drawing. Be here on Wednesday, October 1st, 15th, and 29th from 3 to 7 p.m. when 2 winners will be drawn every hour to pick a witch's hat and win up to $5,000 cash. Club members can conjure up to 5 times entry multipliers. Fly over to where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
This is Tiki Barber. You definitely don't want your heating system to fail this winter. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Have them check your heating system before it breaks. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They can fix anything. Go now to EdisonHVAC.com.
Lowe's knows that free makes everything better. That's why rewards members get free standard shipping starting at Silver Key or Gold Pro status. Not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/shipping. Terms subject to change.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-210-4471 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-210-4471. That's 800-210-4471. What do you have to lose? Call 800-210-4471. Again, 800-210-4471.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
See today, then we play all through the late night. See today, then we play all through the late night.
Brandon Tierney, Sal Licata back on the Fan on this Wednesday morning. All right, so one thing we didn't discuss yesterday, and maybe we should have, maybe it just got by us. Obviously, we discussed it during the course of the year. I was more concerned about Judge's bat than I was his arm in right field last night, but obviously we know, teams are going to be looking to take advantage of Judge in right field. The Red Sox, with their speed, did just that last night. One little incident. It was costly. To me, it's not the sole reason why it cost him the game. But your thoughts on Judge and his limitations in right field?
It's going to be a problem the rest of the year, whether the season ends tonight or in a month. I mean, they're going to test him, and he's not going to have the physical answer. That's the bottom line. He's incredibly compromised right now. I think that throw was like 75.1 miles per hour, and he averaged right around 90 point change. So you're talking about a 15 mile per hour gap. And think about how close that play was with Sogard at second base. I mean, I actually thought for a second they might review it. He was he was safe upon further review, but I'm like, ooh, that was a good tag, and it was a good throw on the bag where you could just catch it and go down rather than coming up and going down. So it was placed well. But if that's his usual 90, he's out. So anything down. And by the way, Sal,
we're probably not running on him if he has his usual arm. That's the
great point. They're not running on him. And that wasn't even a first base coach thing. That was a players meeting before. Hey, guys, we have a chance to run on Judge. We're running every single time. And the other problem, too, I hated the way he got to the ball. He looked cumbersome. He looked slow, and he didn't, and again, I don't want to get too technical, but he didn't come around the baseball in a way that would have enabled him to throw the ball quicker. So I thought his arm was obviously very weak, and the pursuit of the ball was very weak.
A reporter after the game asked if Judge mailed it in on it.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I'm like, come on, dude, where you been if he mailed it in? His arm is busted.
That's weak. That's disrespectful, actually.
Come on. I agree with you. I was perplexed by that. I'm sure Boone was as well. Like, mail it in. What are we doing here?
I know.
And Aaron Boone could not say, like, no, his arm, he can't throw. Because we know what happened last time he said that. He got in a lot of trouble with that. But we all know.
He could have stood up for him.
Well,
he could have been like.
I think he did say that. Like,
but I think I would have gone more. Yeah. I would have been so pissed I would have gotten to an argument with the reporter. I'm like, hold on, let me ask you a question. So are you asking me right now if our right fielder, who's one of the greatest players in baseball history, mailed it in a play? Are you actually asking me that?
I mean, come on.
Oh, well, that's why I'm not the manager of the Yankees. Although I would have gone to Weaver.
No, you and Boone have similar temperament.
Take it easy.
Let's get back to the phones. Adam is in South Jersey. What's up, Adam?
What's up, guys? What's going on? Give me a second. BT, when you were out, I think you were on vacation, I called Sal when the Yankees were in a stretch.
Yep.
I told him the reason I don't think the Yankees can win the World Series is because there's no feel for the game. Everything is scripted. And I got to the point to where when they would make a move I knew they were going to make, they shouldn't. I would turn off the game. And part of it was when Williams was in his spin. I was like, there you go to him anyway because it's in the script. Yesterday when I heard that lineup, that was a script lineup. And you know what I wish yesterday? And I'm actually someone who likes Boone. I wish Alex Cora was our manager because he managed that game like it was Game 7. The other caller said it perfectly. He went into that game thinking to himself, if Crochet's got it today, if he's holding them to nothing, I'm going straight from Crochet to Chapman. I'm not giving him anything else in between the hit. Now,
well, what's he going to do tonight? You know, for all you guys saying that you'd rather be Cora than Aaron Boone, get back to me tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Let's see
what
Cora had to manage that late game.
It was his game. The Yankees might win.
No, Adam.
They're not going to win because of Boone.
It's
not going to be because he makes a good move.
Crochet's one of the best.
Follow the script.
Garrett Crochet. Adam, hold on. Garrett Crochet is one of the best pitchers in baseball. So it's easy to say, well, Cora's going to go Crochet to Chapman.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that. Not one bit. What I'm disagreeing with is feel for the game. Fried got out of a big inning in the 6th. He gets the first guy in the 7th. Let him go till someone gets on base. He's your best pitcher, and it's not even close. Let him go until there's a reason to take him out.
Agreed.
There was no reason to take him out with the bottom of the order.
We're not arguing that. The mistake to me, and thanks for the call, Adam. Good passion as always. But forget the comparisons. It's stupid. Like, you could say Cora's a great manager and think he's better than Boone. Let's see the series play out here. Cora had the advantage last night because his starter was better. And they had to win that game. So, they managed it like a Game 7. The Red Sox threw everything they could at the Yankees, and they barely hung on to win. Let's see what happens tonight before you start burying Boone and praising Alex Cora. Now, the issue to me, and I am in agreement with that Max Fried should have stayed in the game. It's not a predetermined data analytical thing. It was predetermined prior to the 7th inning where Boone said, I need one more from you. But he made his decision, and I think it was the incorrect decision, to choose the bullpen arm, the fresh bullpen arm against that part of the order versus riding his ace even though he's tiring. I would not have done that. Boone did. He made a mistake. That, to me, is the issue.
But this is the only place, really, where you and I disagree. How he got to that point. I know what he said. I watched the press conference, right? And I don't think he lied, but I don't think he's going to volunteer what we all know about this organization at this point, that it was mapped out based on if Fried was great, if Fried was average, if Fried was terrible, high leverage, up a couple of runs, down a couple of runs, bottom of the order, top of the order, middle of the order for Boston. This was all mapped out. So I understand why you say what you say, because what he told us, but I don't believe that the only reason he pulled Fried was because he thought he was basically tapped out and wanted to go to Weaver. I think a lot of that was already written out before the game. I really do.
I think it was no, because if Fried was really good and looked dominant, I think that all those other factors wouldn't have come into play.
I agree, but again, part of the script is determining, is he really good? Is he average? Is he laboring? Is he terrible?
Okay,
if he was really good, that would have been a different script.
But part of it was if he threw fewer pitches in the game, maybe he would have let him go through the 7th inning. I think it's all encompassing. Boone is taking all the info into account when making that decision. The predetermined stuff like, hey, where would we feel like is a good spot to get Weaver in if we needed to. And it would be against that part of the order, okay? So that was part one. And really, it shouldn't be part one. That should come after the Fried stuff. But that's a part of the decision. Yeah, we like Weaver against this part of the order. So if that does come up, this is where we maybe go to him. The other part, the more important part was he saw that Fried wasn't dominating necessarily, maybe laboring to a certain extent, playing with fire, where he was with the pitch count. And he thought, and in my mind incorrectly, he thought that because of all the circumstances, what we talked about with Weaver, where they were in the lineup, what Fried did, the better option was to go with Weaver. I would not have done that under any circumstance. I would trust a tired, beaten Max Fried more than a fresh Luke Weaver, regardless of who's up. That's just me, and I think a lot of us. That, to me, is where we made the mistake. I don't know if you could say that was, it was thought about beforehand.
It had to be. It's the absolute. To what degree? Like, can I attach a definitive percentage? I can't. But to think that it's not part of their calculus, I just don't believe that.
But BT, if he had 90 pitches and had a cleaner fifth and sixth inning, do you still think they're going to Weaver in that spot? Well, that's my point. So it's not predetermined.
Well, listen, we can spin our wheels all day, but this is where I really do disagree, because what you volley back to me, if he had fewer pitches and was pitching better, what I'm saying to you is that that's a different script. And I believe if you're the Yankee brass, the entire staff sitting around before the game.
Script A, B, and C.
Yeah, well, that's what I keep saying. So Max Fried at 102 pitches with one out in the seventh versus Max Fried with 89 or 91 pitches with one out in the seventh is a different script. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Now, I can't prove it, but let me ask you this. But we agree it should have been Weaver. If it would have gone to Devin Williams there,
right?
How would you feel? Is it just because it's Weaver?
No. Well, one, I wouldn't trust Weaver. I would have stuck with Max Fried.
Me too.
I'm pushing, me personally, and I said this before the game, so it's not results-based. I'm pushing Max Fried through as far as I can, meaning that for me to take him out of the game, I've got to see him get touched up. It can't be, I'm not preemptively taking my best pitcher out to preemptive, get ahead of it. Well, I don't want something bad to happen. I'd rather react to him getting hit. I'd rather a base hit and a double in the gap and second and third, now I've got to make a difficult decision. That to me wasn't a difficult decision. He got the first out of the inning. He's moving right along. I don't give a crap how many pitches he's thrown, how he looks tired. Let him go again. I'm not preemptively pulling my best pitcher.
Okay, I'm with you on that. But the thing that stinks about this is, again, I can't prove this. I really, truly believe that they thought that the only place they wanted Weaver to pitch
was
right around the bottom of the order because they don't trust him enough.
BT and Sal on the Fan. More your calls when we come back. 888-808-1019.
It's Evan and Tiki. Afternoons on the Fan 101.9 FM.
And the thing about being a sports fan is those receipts are always going to exist. So you have every right, before you get worried and excited about the Red Sox, to absolutely take our noses and stick it in the dirt. Not a Met fan can say a word about it, because we are losers. We are suckers.
Listen to Evan and Tiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
In St. Pete, Clearwater, you can chill by the crystal clear Gulf.
And stroll downtown St. Pete's galleries and murals.
And hang with the locals at a fishing pier.
And escape to secluded white sand beaches.
Secluded, huh?
Yeah, and they're spectacular.
And then grab a sandwich at the Grouper capital of the world. And
maybe a nightcap at a rooftop bar with sunset views.
Okay, in St. Pete, Clearwater, you'll find just what you're looking for.
And then some.
Your Florida escape begins at visitspc.com.
Hey, it's Tiki. Are you looking to enhance your home experience? Discover the new Sloman's Shield Link, the ultimate all-in-one ecosystem for integrating your smart devices with the Sloman's Shield. Sloman's Shield Link takes everyday routines and actions based on your preferences and connects other devices to react based on your actions. Imagine arriving at home at night and your lights, favorite music, and TV turn on as you enter your home. Whether you want your thermostats to turn down when you turn on your alarm or automatically lock your doors and ensure your security lighting is on. These scenarios are a reality with the Sloman's Shield Link integration platform. The Sloman's Shield Link is compatible with devices you already have in your home. Sloman's includes installation for all devices. Plus, they offer 24/7 support. Whether you need to troubleshoot a problem or want to add programming, you can call at any time. Embrace the future of home living by calling 1-800-ALARM-ME today or visit SlomansShieldLink.com to get the Sloman's Shield Link.
Hey,
everyone, this is Chris Hodge from TakingVegas.com, and each and every day you can text the word WIN to the number 545454. Again, text the word WIN to the number 545454 and get our best bet of the night every single night for free. You can also visit TakingVegas.com. 10 great handicappers there, but tonight we have a free best bet. It's yours. Text the word WIN to the number 545454.
Michelin Winter Tires offer confidence in all types of winter conditions, and Town Fair Tire offers every long-lasting, fuel-efficient Michelin tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services for life with your purchase of Michelin Winter Tires to keep you going for years to come. For the guaranteed best deal on Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-814-1500. That's 800-814-1500. 800-814-1500.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Stations.
WFAN Sports Flash.
And this report brought to you by the FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands Racetrack, and all your parlays, moneyline, and prop wagers made at the Meadowlands Racetrack's FanDuel Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook in North America. 21 plus to wager in present New Jersey. Gambling problem? Dial 1-800-GAMBLER. Yankees and Red Sox again tonight at the stadium. Boston taking Game 1 3-1. Yankee offense, not much other than an Anthony Volpe home run. They did load the bases in the ninth last night with nobody out and got nothing. So, Aaron Judge, how do you win tonight?
Just focus on what we got to do. You know, they're a great team up in the lineup. They're going to put the ball in play, make things happen. They got great speed. Definitely, great back end bullpen there too. So just got to get the lead early, put the pressure on them, and come away with a couple victories here.
Well, they had the lead early last night. They just couldn't tack on. Manager Aaron Boone expecting a big bounce back.
We've been playing these type games for a while now. We've been playing with a lot on the line seemingly every single day. So tonight was a great baseball game that, we just couldn't get that final punch in. So we'll be ready to go, and I expect us to come out and get one tomorrow.
Boone gives the ball to Carlos Rodon tonight. It'll be on the Fan. First pitch, 6:08. Game 2, Tigers and Guardians at 1, Padres and Cubs at 3, Dodgers and Reds at 9. And the Braves announcing a short time ago, manager Brian Snitker will be moving into an advisory role. They will now search for a new manager. They added he will be inducted into the team's Hall of Fame next year. This report brought to you by Audi Manhattan, where luxury meets excellence. At Audi Manhattan, experience best-in-class service in the heart of New York. Visit the Audi flagship store today, conveniently located on 55th and 11th. Audi Manhattan, where luxury meets excellence. 62 in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast.
New New York sports is more than a game. It's a lifestyle. WFAN is the only place where Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets fans come together and sound off. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Beat the Soundfield on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. Back to the Yankees here, BT, 888-808-1019. A lot of different things to dissect from last night. Another thing, and Hoff brought this up during the break, Crochet, for everybody's like, oh, Cora said, it's going to be Crochet right into Chapman. Well, no, not necessarily. If he didn't have a 6-7 pitch 8th inning or 7th inning, then that wouldn't have been the case. So the Yankees did him a favor by him just throwing, what was it, 6 pitches or 7? Six pitches in that 7th inning.
Yep.
That allowed him to go out there again and get a couple outs in the 8th inning. So, the Yankees offense not doing him any favors there either, just trying to work Crochet to maybe get to at least another bullpen arm. If they have to go to Whitlock there, the righty, a totally different story.
Yes, and listen, when you play a playoff baseball game, there's little things that are going to be kind of pushed aside, and we go for the steak, right?
There's a lot of meat from yesterday.
There is, but even let's say the Yankees would have come back and won last night. One of the plays that would have really resonated was Judge without playing right field, not to throw to second, the one where he was kind of twisted around as a tough play, and he made that, and that's what a good defensive right fielder does. Where
Soto's not making that play.
I was thinking that. Soto's not making that play. I won't even going to say because I don't care at this point, but he's probably not making that play.
He would have been in the lineup last night.
He would have played, and he would have batted. He probably would have had 2 or 3 knocks as well, although maybe the Yankees would have dropped him to 7th because it was a tough lefty. But in the bottom of the 7th, he only threw 6 pitches. Bellinger faced 3, Stanton faced 1, Rosario faced 2. Stanton, as much as we love him, and I wouldn't be surprised if he drills a 3-run missile tonight at 118 miles an hour on the exit below, but he was terrible last night. He looked bad.
But this is the thing, good pitching to me, and this is not good pitching, that was great pitching.
Yes.
So,
yes.
But even in the that we kind of expect that from the Yankees, unfortunately, where great pitching is going to get the better of the Yankees' potent, elite lineup, whatever adjective you want to use to describe it. But my counter then from a Yankees perspective would be okay, now what? We've seen the best that you had to offer. Now what? I'd be if the Yankees don't hit tonight, then there's going to be hell to pay tomorrow. We all know that. But now that you've seen what the Red Sox, the best that they could do, now it's on the Yankees to go out there, and Rodon has to have a good game tonight. The Yankees bats have to lead the way. It's going to be a totally different lineup. It's going to be the actual Yankee lineup, and I would expect them to mash, just like Boone was confidently saying last night. He all but guaranteed, like Aaron Boone channeling his inner Patrick Ewing, all but guaranteeing a win. I expect us to come out and get one tomorrow. He fully expects to win tomorrow. I would expect a much better effort. I'm not going to go as far as to say guarantee victory, but it feels like that's what the Yankee skipper is saying.
Listen, we all love the big fella. Can we reference Messier instead of Patrick's declarations? Because as we know, Patrick came up short a lot of those times when he said, we're going to win the game. But yeah, I like that Boone did that. And I'm thinking this, and I'm watching the game, and Crochet, number one, he really is filthy, and his windup is extra tricky. He's a big dude.
He's nasty, dude.
He is, that's got to be one of the most uncomfortable
led the league
bats.
in innings. We talked about it. Led the league in innings, strikeouts. Did you see there was a report yesterday we didn't talk about? I talked about this on Baseball Night in New York yesterday. I don't understand why. Heyman said that the Mets had an opportunity to trade for Crochet. It would have taken...
I think I saw this.
It would have taken at least Brandon Sproat and Jet Williams.
I saw this.
Okay, but think about it. Now, I don't know what else was there. I mean, you could have even included Nolan McLean. Having Garrett Crochet, I know this is in retrospect and in hindsight, but still, the Mets needed an ace. Forget Brandon Sproat and Jet Williams. If you put Garrett Crochet on this crappy Mets team in 2020,
you make that trade 100 times. You even throw in Vientos, even Vientos coming off a good year. I'm talking about not now. I mean last year.
I'm saying even if it were McLean and Sproat and Jet Williams,
I hear you.
Getting Crochet, you just saw last night. You've seen what he's done all year long. The Mets would have definitively been a playoff team if he were on their team. And look what happens in the postseason. He goes out there and shuts down one of the best lineups in baseball.
He's nasty. I was trying to think, when was the last time the Yankees faced a pitcher like that? Even though they've come up short every time since 2009, back in the day, you faced Pedro, you faced Schilling, you faced Unit, you faced a couple of the Astro pitchers were pretty good. But I feel like
Verlander, you would say, who's in that group?
I would say Verlander, but even not Valdez, even though it was good. I would say probably, even the Marlins trio of young pitchers in 2003.
Keuchel in that wild card game.
Keuchel spun him in knots, but he didn't have that filthy stuff. He was more soft tosser, hitting spots. Like, what they saw last night was like a throwback to some of the best pitching they've ever faced in my lifetime.
Correct. So we can overreact to like, they're good at hits. They can't beat good teams. The Red Sox aren't that good. On the night where Garrett Crochet pitches, they could be the best team in Major League Baseball because of him. He's that good. My answer now would be like, okay, good. Now what? Let's see if the Red Sox have enough these next 2 days. Steve is calling from New Fairfield, Connecticut. What's up, Steve?
Hey, Steve.
Hey, fellas. How are you?
Good.
No one gets more ticked off with the scripted Yankee preconceived what they're going to do the rest of the game. You saw it coming. But the thing that cushions it, I guess, for me, if I step outside the emotion of the storm there or whatever, we're asking them to win a 1-0 game. All it really did is push it. They weren't going to push Fried to 130. So, okay, that means Devin's EA. First of all, he would have been nursing a 1-0 lead. Are we super confident when he doesn't get a little tighter?
More than Weaver.
They might have lost the game anyway.
Right. So, we're asking them to win a 1-0 game. And then it comes down to it. We had bases loaded, nobody out.
Yep.
So, I don't mean to sound like I'm not super ticked off by the loss. Heck yeah, but Crochet pitched a hell of a game, and we asked them to win a 1-0 game.
Understood, Steve, but the problem is you had the lead with your ace on the mound, and you proactively took him out to get to a lesser pitcher. Boone has his reasons why, but that pitcher hasn't been good this year. You proactively took your ace out to get to him and proceeded to cough up the game. So to me, it's not just about the result of what happened. Obviously, the result is hideous. My logic would just be, you at least have a run to play with. Even if Fried gives up 2 runs, okay, so then it's 2-1, big deal. I'd rather Fried get touched up than preemptively take him out. That's all.
I'm with you. This is all about mitigating risk. I mean, honestly, when you invest, you want to make sure you have your bonds in there to just kind of even things up with the volatility of the market, right? It's the same thing. You want to mitigate risk here in terms of going to somebody that you trust more than less. And a tiring Fried is just a better option than Weaver. It doesn't mean that Fried doesn't give up a 2-run bomb and the Yankees, they could still lose the game. But I am of the mindset, I know you are as well, the more that you mitigate risk, generally speaking, the more you will succeed.
Right. And
it's pretty basic.
It was taking it, to me, now Boone thought that the lesser of the 2 risks was to go with the reliever.
Yeah.
I thought that was the bigger risk. By the way, same thing with the lineup. Like, you could sit here and say you're okay with the platoon lineup.
I was much more okay with it than you.
And I could say I hated it, but even if they had Rice in there and Jazz in there, it doesn't mean that those guys are going to do damage. They very well could have done the same thing. I just would rather forget results. I'm not sitting here taking a bows because Rosario didn't sniff a base hit. Like, it's not about the result. I'd rather go down with my best bats in the lineup. If I'm going to lose to Crochet, I'm going to lose because Ben Rice went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, or Jazz Chisholm couldn't get the job done. I'm not going to roll the dice because of 9 at-bats that Ahmed Rosario, who was a god-awful Met, who's turned himself into a serviceable platoon player, I'm not going down with that if I'm the New York. That's me if I'm the New York Yankees.
If the Yankees lose this series, Yankee fans and the Yankees are going to have to sit on these 2 very painful thoughts the rest of the winter, right? Number one, very, very possibly your 3-hitter for the next 7, 8, 9 years, and Ben Rice did not play. And somebody who went 30-30, one of only a couple of Yankees to ever do that, did not play enough.
And remember, too, part of why Ben Rice didn't play, it's not just Crochet. It's that he's not a good enough defensive player, which brings us back to they're not structured properly because they have multiple DHs. Like, you got to have Stanton in there, but Stanton can't play. If Stanton can play the outfield, you could argue then you take Grisham out. Had Bellinger in center field, Judge in right, and you have Grisham's bat out of the line. Would you rather have Grisham or Ben Rice in that lineup last night?
Last night, Rice. There's no way. Grisham was lost. He had no chance.
But I'm saying in general, if you had
Rice.
one at bat.
Rice.
Ben Rice. They chose Grisham because Stan can't play the outfield. Also because Ben Rice can't play first or catcher better than the other 2. Like, it's not just in isolation. Well, lefty. There's other reasons for it. John is calling from Brooklyn. What's up, John?
Hey, how you doing? Here's another thing I saw last night. You know, you're going into the game. You know it's going to be a 2-1 game, most likely a 3-2 game. You have McMahon. You sit McMahon to play Caballero. Caballero and McMahon, neither one is really going to affect the game getting a hit. But now at the end of the game, you don't have Caballero on your bench.
Right.
McMahon's just a waste. He's just sitting there. You get to the 8th inning, Volpe gets the single, Crochet's in trouble, you pitch run Caballero game, he starts shaking up the game. That's his strong point. That's what
you pinch run him for Volpe?
In that situation?
No way.
Yeah,
Volpe should be able to steal the base on his own anyway.
Hey, okay, so I get it, but in any case, the strength of having Caballero is to have him in those situations at the end of the game. He could have ran for a Goldschmidt.
Yeah, that's true.
It just got things nervous.
That's true.
We talked about that, John.
Neither one of those guys is going to hit Crochet. Why are we not using the better defensive player and saving Caballero for where he's the most defensive that he can be?
Because they thought that they were going to have a better chance to hit Crochet, but it didn't work out.
Right, but we talked about this yesterday before the game.
You think there's a difference between the two enough?
No.
But also, it's a message.
No, we said it yesterday.
Use both for defense.
We said it yesterday, John, and thank you for the call.
You, John.
Before the game, I said that I would rather have Caballero as a weapon off the bench. You could have deployed him to pinch run in certain situations. You could have had him pinch hit against Chapman in the ninth inning. To me, it was no difference. McMahon's not going to get a hit off of Crochet, and Caballero, he may have a better chance, but I thought it was more valuable to have Caballero off the bench. And by the way, if you wanted to do that, have Rosario play third.
Yep.
And then you say, okay, well, we're going to lose a little bit of defense, which you're losing anyway. Keep Caballero on your bench so your bench is strong. Get your righty that you want in the lineup with the matchups for Crochet with Rosario, and keep Jazz starting at second base. Like, there were different ways to do it, which this is before the game, not based off results. We were talking about this yesterday before the results of the game.
Well, Sal, think about this just from a substitution philosophy, right? So Caballero, what skills does he bring? He can pinch run. He can pinch hit against a lefty in a favorable matchup, right? And he's obviously a very versatile defender. So really, 3 for 3. McMahon was essentially... They really played with one player less last night because you're never going to pinch hit McMahon because he's not a good enough hitter.
Right.
He's not going to pinch run because he's not very fast, even though he's average. Now, the only window for him to play would be to come in and play third base. And he's obviously
in the 8th or 9th.
Yeah, he's an elite defender if you have the lead. But so it's 3 out of 3 talents with Caballero and 1 of 3 with McMahon. So that's even backwards when you think about it.
But they also got caught with their pants down in the 9th inning. For a team that can't get enough of the matchups, like their whole lineup last night was based on the matchups. They can't get enough of it. They had no options in the 9th inning. After Stanton goes down to Chapman, they were left standing with Jazz and Grisham, 2 lefties against the nasty lefty, with the bases freaking loaded. Like that's why it just makes no sense to me. You didn't have one of those good options off the bench for that exact situation. Were the Yankees caught by surprise that the Red Sox went to Chapman, another lefty in the 9th inning?
One of whom they just flat out didn't start. The other, they dropped 5 spots in the batting order from 1 to 6, and here we are, boom, boom, back to back. Now, not to defend the Yankees on this, but I would imagine that their thought process was this. By playing, and I did say this yesterday, and I was more okay with the lineup than you. Didn't love it, but I was more okay with it, right? But one thing I told Sal, I said, they have to be thinking by going with Rosario, yes, you'd love to scratch out a couple of hits, and I know he had success against Crochet and all the matchup-driven stuff, but it's really about deeper at-bats, more competitive at-bats, and they're probably thinking, because our righties give us a better chance to have 5 and 6 pitch at-bats rather than...
Get him out of there sooner.
Yes, so what they're thinking is that Crochet's going to be out and that they'll have probably 2 innings before Chapman to deploy some of those lefty sticks. It just didn't work out.
Fair enough, and that's fine. Maybe even the bigger issue, and we talked about this earlier, in case you missed it, check it out on the free Odyssey app. If you're going to have that plan and that logic, that's fine. Stick to it. There was no reason to put Jazz in as a defensive replacement, which then put you in the exact predicament you were trying to avoid earlier.
I agree.
At least if he didn't do that, you would have gotten the matchup you wanted with Rosario against Chapman there.
I agree. That one's probably the sloppiest thing of the night.
Because it just didn't go in alignment with the rest of the plan, and it ended up costing you.
Yeah, well said. You're right.
John is calling from Mount Vernon, New York. What's up, John?
Hey, guys. Listen, you talk about feel for the game. You talk about feel for the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen, and I think the guy before me touched on it. Goalie gets a base hit in the 9th inning, okay? You have Dominguez on in the dugout, okay?
Yeah.
The only one slower than Goldschmidt is me, slow and stop, okay? You could have went, he could have stole second, base hit, maybe go to third. I know it's one run. It's only one run. We're down 2. But a lot of things can happen. The other thing is Grissom was completely overmatched last night. Why Rice wasn't at that bad, we'll never know. And the other thing,
hey, hold on, John. Let me throw this at you though. So, and Volpe did try to steal on one of those, and it was a foul ball, and he got a pretty good jump, so he probably would have made it. But it is, even with the, 2 throwovers and timing it better now and it's easier to steal, it's still a little dangerous to try to steal the bag when you're down 2 runs.
Yeah, but at that point you weren't. There was no offense. You have to make something happen, right?
Yeah, but I don't want to run into.
Go down.
Yeah, I still don't want to run into an out with a guy who's been sitting on the bench for 3 hours in Dominguez.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's certain spots to be aggressive. Obviously, with Volpe there, and they ended up getting to second base anyway with the
base hit.
No, what do you call it?
Hold on, with the the balk.
Yeah,
that ball he threw over the third time. Didn't
what
get
the hell
him.
do they call that? What is that called?
The over. When you run out of what is it?
What is that called? Do you know the term, Hoff?
Engagements.
Thank you, BT. Right, there was a term for it.
Come on, engagements. Would you speak like a human?
Two baseball lifers can't even come up with the word
But think about the stupidity of the word.
I'm getting it.
Yeah, too many engagements.
The disengagement, right?
Disengagement.
Disengaged
really.
too many times.
That's what I meant.
Tommy is calling from West Babylon. What's up, Tommy?
Hey, guys. How are you? Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I don't understand the thought process of not starting a 30-30 lefty second baseman at Yankee Stadium in a playoff game who's arguably the best hitting infielder on this team. Like, I know the game unfolds, there's nothing you could do, but why they didn't start Jazz is, I don't know. I don't think there's a manager that wouldn't start a 30-30 second baseman in the playoffs. Now, as far as Fried, and I believe he was pulled a little early, the rotation is the strength on this team. Mm-hmm. You got to let these guys go a little bit longer. The bullpen's shaky. You got, the closer's not bad, but other than that middle relief isn't really the greatest. But I guess that's water under the bridge. We got to win tonight. So Boston threw their best starter at us. Chapman was a 4-out save last night, I believe.
Yep.
It's you think they'll put him in tonight if
yes.
Boston's got a lead? Or
yes.
You do. Okay. Yes. So the Yankees got to score early, and I think the Yankees have the advantage going forward. But a best-of-3 series can go wrong quick. So the Yankees really got to step it up tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they can't lose. Literally, and thanks for the call, Tommy. They can't lose. Otherwise, the season's over. But you would expect tonight, the way tonight has to play out is Rodon's got to be solid from the get-go, and the Yankees' bats got to mash early on. And that's it. You get out to a 4 or 5 run cushion, let Rodon cruise, then you can hand it over the bullpen and hope that the bullpen can hang on. Now, I don't know if the Yankees, they're going to – see, here's where it could go sideways a little bit. The Red Sox are not going to use their A guys in the bullpen unless they have a lead, and then they're going to go balls to the wall. Mm-hmm. The Yankees were in the situation where they have a lead, which is what you want.
Yeah.
Will they be able to go back to those guys again tomorrow if they use them tonight? Like, your best guys are Williams and Bednar. They use them both. Well, Weaver, Williams, and Bednar, but Williams and Bednar use them tonight.
Yeah.
Then what tomorrow? Like, you can't use
Cruz pitch too.
You can't use them 3 straight days.
Well, you're gonna have to. Listen, and it doesn't even matter. But this is why, why Paul Blackburn is on this. Like, I would have put Louis Hill, even if it's just to come out and get 1 out.
Yeah.
Just as an option to maybe hit the button.
Well, now I didn't have a problem with it yesterday, and I still understand why they wouldn't. But thinking it out now, when you go into Game 3, and if there is no Game 3, it doesn't matter because we're not talking about the Yankees. If you go into Game 3, in all likelihood, it's going to be with your best bullpen arms
exhausted,
having pitched back-to-back days.
Yeah, and not only that, what if Schlittler? Let's say it's a 7-6 game. What if Schlittler doesn't have his A stuff and the Yankees score and the Red Sox score? Well, if you had Hill on the roster, I know he's used to being a starter.
You have him be the bulk guy.
Yeah, come in there in the 4th inning if you had to. I thought that was a miss. I didn't understand. Blackburn, I can't stand them.
BT, no, he can't pitch.
What's
BT
he
and Sal, he shouldn't be on it. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019.
Wild card game 1 went Boston's way.
To take a 1-0 lead in this best-of-3 series.
Now the Bombers' backs are against the wall as game 2 is a win or lights-out situation.
We've been playing with a lot on the line seemingly every single day. We'll be ready to go, and I expect us to come out and get one.
Catch all the postseason excitement here on your exclusive home for everything New York Yankees. Tune in for game 2, 6:08 tonight. Driven by Jeep, 1019 FM WFAN. And always live on the free Odyssey app.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain? We've got specialists for that.
With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance. Others drive them for the range. And some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever your reason, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. Escalade IQ, Vistic, Optic, and Lyric. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today.
Lunch was great. Greenwich Village is a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Want fast, reliable home internet? Switch to Verizon Fios, where you get the 100% fiber optic network with speeds up to 2 gig. And if you're looking for live TV with up to 400 plus channels and live sports, Fios TV is where it's at. Get the internet speed you want and the TV you love when you bundle Fios home internet and TV with Verizon. Plus, get the latest deals when you call 1-883-VERIZON and switch to Verizon Fios today. Availability varies.
School may be back, but the fun never stops at American Dream. Just minutes from Manhattan. With over 25 indoor attractions, you can ride Splash at DreamWorks Water Park, ride coasters at Nickelodeon Universe, and so much more. Tickets at AmericanDream.com.
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. When it's game time, it's Tully time. Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume, imported by William Grant & Sons Incorporated, New York, New York.
Wellness isn't just what you do, it's what you absorb, hydrate, and fuel with. At Terra Origin, we combine ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with modern science to support your whole body from the inside out. Gut health for balance, healthy hydration for performance, healthy greens for clean energy and recovery. Because when your body's in sync, everything else flows. Find your formula today at TerraOrigin.com and use code RADIO to save 25% off your first order. Terra Origin, rooted in tradition, built for now.
Hey, it's Jerry Recco. If you're facing hair loss like I am, I would like to share my journey at Great Many, New York City's cutting-edge hair growth studio. Looking to regrow your hair safely and effectively? Forget those risky pills with scary side effects and costly trips to Turkey. At Great Many, they use PRP, regenerative medicine trusted by pro athletes for recovery. It's a natural, non-surgical solution that really works. Check out my journey and visit greatmany.com/fan to learn more and save $200 today. Don't hesitate. Take action now like I have. Go to greatmany.com/fan to book your treatment or get a free consultation.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business?
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more. So you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action and get you ready for kickoff, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Put WFAN in your contact list. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Brandon Tierney Salicana back on the Fan. I'm in the middle of reorganizing my helmets here ahead of Week 5 in the NFL. I got to do the matchups coming up, so we'll do that in a little bit. There was something that I wanted to say on the Yankees, and I forget what. Hoff came in, distracted us during the break here, talking about God knows what. Let's get back to the task at hand here, though, BT. And I do fully believe that the Yankees are going to win tonight. And even watching that game, last night, knowing the Red Sox had their ace on the mound and going to Chapman, it took everything they had to barely hang on and beat the Yankees. I don't look at this series as saying, well, the Red Sox are better than the Yankees. I still look at it as saying, I fully believe the Yankees are a better team. Now, can they go out there and execute? I mean, that's going to be the question. They're going to have to, whether it's Rodon, whether it's the bullpen, whether it's the lineup. But just the bats alone, I don't think the Red Sox have enough offense to compete with the Yankees when Garrett Crochet is not on the mound.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. I do think that the Yankees are better. What does it mean? Or maybe nothing. Right. I mean, I don't know. The one thing, and this is something that goes, both ways here. Like if the Yankees come out, drop a 3-spot early, somebody goes deep, maybe a double, whatever it might be, mixing a walk, and the Yankees are up. The place is up for grabs. Boston's rattled. The Yankees feel good. It's a totally different vibe, right? And then Game 3 would let their big advantage with whoever they're going to throw, and then the Yankees should be in a good spot. But when you're at home, right? I've said this a lot, even more than the NHL and even more than the NBA and even more than the NFL. Like when you're losing a must-win game in baseball in your stadium and your offense is quiet, the stadium almost becomes eerie and it becomes heavy. And I think it becomes a burden for the home team. So if the Yankees, if it's a slog early, even if they're tied or they're down 1-0, that tightness can kind of manifest itself because that you could hear the restlessness in the stands.
Yeah, I still don't, it's just in my mind. Now, I have to admit, and I was texting with some of my buddies last night during the game, like I might, and I've admitted this on the air, I might be still brainwashed from what I saw 30 years ago. And I told you even with Judge, where ever since 2017, I've always felt like the Yankees, this is going to be the year, this is going to be the year. The majority of those years, certainly after like 18, 19, 20, I all thought those were going to be the Yankees years. After that, I started to doubt them a little bit. I just didn't like the way the team looked. I'm still, I fully expected the Yankees to come back and win that game last night in real time watching it. Expecting Judge to get up against Crochet and do damage, something like real damage, not a base hit. Something we talked about yesterday going into the game. I fully expect the Yankees to still win this series, but I must admit that I don't know if that's just a part of me is brainwashed or if it's because I really am right on the money saying the Yankees are better than the Red Sox are in this series. Yep. So I don't know, but I still have that expectation and belief that the Yankees are going to win this series.
Yeah, I do, but not based on the reasons you just said.
I admit I can't. Sometimes I can't.
You can't separate it.
Well, I mean, I don't. But here's the other thing: the Yankees are generally good. Like, I thought that they were a bad team last year. They got to the World Series, which kind of proves the point. And then finally, what I felt would happen happened in the World Series, but it took all that. And I still don't look at, do you look at the Red Sox as really being a legitimate good team?
I mean, I think their manager's great. Okay. I think their ace is, slightly more dominant than ours. I think that they've got a couple of gamers in Bregman and Duran and some other players. I mean, they catch the ball in the outfield. I think they're a threat. They have a great closer. Yeah. They have a better closer than the Yankees do at this point. All I'm saying is and I told you this, there was a point, and I think every Yankee fan went through this, 96, 98, 99, 2000, even 01 with the Diamondbacks, 03 with the Marlins. You're like, the Yankees will find a way. The Yankees are down what? They're on the road. They have to win this game. They'll win. Who's pitching? Pettit, El Duque, who's taking the baseball? Yankees will win. For me, that faded a long time ago because I have not liked their rosters for years.
Oh, agreed.
This year's different, though. I do like this roster.
Oh, okay. Did you feel last night in real time they were coming back and winning that game?
Before they got the hits or when there was nobody on?
Whatever. Ninth inning against Chapman.
Not
down
necessarily.
2 runs.
No.
And then when they got the bases loaded, for sure you thought.
Well, yes. When it was first and second, then I'm like, Yanks are winning this game. Even before it became bases loaded.
So maybe then it's not just being brainwashed because I was critical of the Yankees last year and didn't believe that they were any good. This year, I do feel differently, especially in this series. I don't think Boston has enough. And maybe the specific brainwashing comes from being at Yankee Stadium in a tight game 1, 2-run game, just like I still feel like the Yankees are going to come out on top more often than not in those specific situations.
I never feel the same way in the new stadium like I did in the old one. Those emotions and that confidence did not transfer to the new stadium.
I know what I wanted to say before. Dave Lennon, I saw him tweet out, if the Yankees do advance to the ALDS, and obviously it's a big if at this point, they need to win the next two. Game 1 at Toronto, Saturday, 4:08 p.m. Game 2 at Toronto, Sunday, 4:08 p.m. as well.
Both at 4?
4 o'clock starts Game 1 and Game 2.
I don't like that at all.
That's what happens when you play the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, you could also look at it like the Blue Jays are playing the Yankees, so they should be prime time.
I mean, meaning, you know
what I mean?
Understood, but
it's two-way street.
I mean, I guess they're anticipating whoever it is, Phillies, Brewers, Dodgers, anticipating the NL going to be a better matchup.
I listen. I mean,
Mariners, West Coast.
The West Coast does throw a variable in there. I'm focused on this series.
Yeah.
But just allowing my mind to go there to the weekend if they get there, I don't let 4:05 first pitches stink on the weekend. Come on.
Larry is calling from Cranford, New Jersey. What's up, Larry?
4:05.
Hey, guys, I don't know if this is a crazy observation, but you never see Boone looking at a clipboard or an iPad. You do see Alex Cora doing that. So to me, that means somebody is telling him what to do, or he's making these decisions kind of on the fly. He just doesn't seem he's blowing bubbles. We see that.
You know, my wife noticed that last night, Larry. She goes, "Oh, your guy's blowing just blew a huge bubble." I was looking at my phone or something. I didn't catch it, but he always is doing that. But yeah, she did notice that Booney was blowing a big bubble.
Yeah, I mean, Jen said something about, but she's like, "You gonna text him after?" I'm like, "No, after the loss. Are you insane? I wouldn't even really text him after the win."
Did you text him before a little?
I texted him about a week or so ago.
Okay. And you just gave him a little good luck then?
No, it was about Volpe's swing, which was bothering me. I actually didn't send him a good luck. I meant to. I really did.
Even I did that.
I did. Well, was it genuine?
You know what he said?
What?
He goes, "Oh, you rooting for the Stripers now?" You know.
And what did you say?
Was your team on the outside looking in?
Oh, good. Good.
You know what I said?
Felt a little vulnerability from
You know what
Sal.
I said?
What?
Let's not push it.
Would you say, let's go Boston?
No, I said, let's not push it.
Who are you rooting for? I mean, rooting's an odd word, but what you want to see the Yankees advance, or do you want to bury them?
As I said, I want to root for Boone, but I can't. I'm not rooting for the Yankees.
So you're not going to pull a Boomer wearing a mantle jersey?
No.
By the way, Booms, enough with, it's...
Why, what happened?
He wore the mantle jersey and the Yankees lost. Stick to the Rangers.
He didn't wear it today. You should have worn it again.
Stick to the Rangers.
I'm sorry. Wear that Yankee jersey again. No issue with that.
Stick to Seaver. Leave the mantle stuff to Francesa.
I got to be honest with you. I would not mind as much if the Yankees won, but there was a lot of trash talk, with the Mets rightfully so losing.
Yes.
But to me, it was Yankee fans, a lot of them dunking on the Mets.
Yeah, and by the way, who managed to stay above the fray?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Who stayed above the fray?
No, we did not.
For the most part, we did.
We did not do any of that.
We didn't jump into that. Now, I took it on the chin. You guys were with the Cohen stuff, the music. When you got Soto, I couldn't say a word. So I'm like, hey, I understand when there's leverage and a position of power to be had. And, if you want to reach for that flex, but, hey, you took Soto. I couldn't say a peep.
Yeah.
I did not. Now, when Soto was scuffling early, I was enjoying that. But I'm surprised I didn't lean into it. I guess I'm just more mature at this point.
But the Soto thing is a different argument.
I know it is.
We've already went over that.
I know it is.
That's over and done with.
100%. And talk about when you got him.
Yeah.
Oh, Met fans had to revel in that.
But there was
no problem with that.
But there was a lot of that being brought up from Yankee fans again.
I don't do that. I think it's childish. It's not my thing.
Me too. So then I'm just like, whatever. But when you ask me who I'm rooting for all those people that were dunking on the Mets, and I understand it, that's your prerogative. There's no way that I could ever root for the Yankees. It's just not him. As much as I love Boone, I'd like to see him manage the game. And if they won, I'd like to see him win a championship.
What about your partner? You want to see your partner happy?
No, you've already won world championships. No, you've already won world championships as a fan.
I mean, it's one thing. Oh man,
I'd rather see, dude. Boone's if they get swept here, I don't think he's gonna get fired, but people are going to be calling for him to get fired.
So it's more important to keep Boone as the manager than for your partner to celebrate a championship?
I'm saying the human element of it, I'd like to see him have the ultimate success.
Well, what about me?
You have nothing to do with it.
What do you mean? I'm a Yankee fan.
Exactly. I'm not rooting for Yankee fans. I'm rooting for the Yankee manager.
Listen, this is coming from the same guy who actually uttered into a microphone that you were worked up about something. I don't think you really meant it. that you wanted St. John's to lose in the NCAA. I notice a trend here.
Well, yes, you do notice a trend. When people start getting above their, what is it, too big for
like
the
over
britches?
the skis?
Yeah, like,
which I didn't do, so you should at least be wanting me to be happy.
That wasn't you, and I did. For that is different. For that is different with the St. John's thing for you, because you are a part of that, the broadcasting. That's different than just saying, oh, yeah, you know what, partner, good for you. Go have another Yankee championship. You saw enough.
I would be happy for you and Evan. I don't know if I'd be happy.
In 40 years, I would hope so. It'd be a different story.
I don't know if I'd be happy for Loogie. I'd be happy for Evan. I'd be happy for Hoff and obviously the Rico and you and Boomer. I'd be happy for the Met fan.
You know,
you can't reciprocate.
My Uncle John texting me nonstop stuff about Soto, Yankees.
I don't do that.
I know, but that's what, so for certain Yankee fans, you know why? Like your son Colt. I'd like to see Colt enjoy a Yankee
because he's never had one.
Yeah, I know how much,
all right.
We meet in the middle there.
All right.
For certain Yankee fans like Colt, you know.
I got
Colt,
you.
yes.
All right.
BT and Sal, the fan. We'll take a quick break, come back, a little 3RQ will involve the Yankees and 3 random questions today.
Nice.
Have some fun with that. And, of course, get back to your calls on the Yankees, 888-808-1019, BT and Sal on the fan. Guys, by now, you've heard me talk about Collars & Co., makers of the dress collar polo. They've already sold over 1 million of these amazing shirts. Well, Collars & Co. just came out with the new Maverick Performance Blazer. This blazer is sharp and wrinkle resistant, so you can travel anywhere with it. Just throw it in your bag, and it will remain wrinkle-free. It even comes with security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So visit collarsandco.com and check them out today.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The Browns are reportedly making a move. Rookie Dylan Gabriel is expected to start over Joe Flacco this week when the Browns play the Vikings in London. As for Shedeur Sanders, well, he's still waiting in the wings. But here's the real question. Are either of these rookies getting a legit shot to win the job long term, or just keeping the seat warm until Cleveland lands their next top draft pick? I'm Maggie Gray.
Paid for by term provider. Premiums will vary. Plans depend on age, location, and other factors. Visit bigloot.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-555-1509. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-555-1509. That's 800-555-1509. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-555-1509. 800-555-1509.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season is finally here. The only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/Gio. That's G-I-O to download the FanDuel app today and get started. That's FanDuel.com/Gio. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, go 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
In St. Pete, Clearwater, you can chill by the crystal clear Gulf.
And stroll downtown St. Pete's galleries and murals.
And hang with the locals at a fishing pier.
And escape to secluded white sand beaches.
Secluded, huh?
Yeah. And they're spectacular.
And then grab a sandwich at the grouper capital of the world.
And maybe a nightcap at a rooftop bar with sunset views.
Okay. In St. Pete, Clearwater, you'll find just what you're looking for.
And then some.
Your Florida escape begins at visitspc.com.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions, participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Hey, this is Tiki Barber. Those of us living in New Jersey got hit with a 20% electric rate increase. If your current heating system is over 15 years old, it's time for a new high-efficiency Carrier system. And there's only one company to call for a new one. My friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts for over 38 years. Older heating systems waste gas. So get your system checked now and save money with Edison Heating and Cooling. Contact them now at edisonhvac.com. That's edisonhvac.com.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We asked parents to share their journey of adopting teens.
They changed who I am because I can't see life without them in it.
Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Mostly sunny and breezy, high 68.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
A good question.
3 random questions.
Let's find out.
With Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata.
1, 2, 3.
On The Fan.
All right, BT, a little 3RQ as we do every Wednesday at 11:40. 3 random questions sponsored by the Rothenberg Law Firm. Injured? Visit injurylawyer.com. Number 1. Are you more likely to wear a luchador mask to a game or give someone who does the finger?
I mean, I would never wear one to a game. I mean, that's absolutely, come on. I mean, I do have one. Somebody got me one.
A Yankee one?
No, it's a Jets one.
Okay.
It's like a green one, you know.
You have to wear that to go to a Jets game.
Well, just to kind of hide myself.
Yes.
So we can just mask our misery. There is no chance I would wear one to a Yankee game or any game at this point, and I wouldn't give somebody the finger. I might look at them like you're a goofball if you're a grown man. Or if you're acting like a clown, but I'm not.
Now you saw
probably
this,
neither. I hate to give you that weak answer, but
that's okay. For those of you who listening who don't know what I'm talking about, there was a Yankee fan in the stands last night wearing a Yankee luchador mask, and there was a Red Sox fan behind him, female fan, giving him the finger when they were shown on camera. Did you see that, Hoff? Which one?
Saw it.
Hoff seems like a luchador mask type guy at a game. No, Hoff. Is your mic on?
We're going to get him fired up now. Andre the Giant wore a mask for a year.
I would not be wearing a mask. I'm not a mask guy. I'm not a Halloween guy.
Oh, you giving the finger guy?
Oh, that yes. No question.
So
I give both fingers.
Wait, you're not a Halloween guy? You love horror movies.
I love horror movies, but I don't like to dress up as them.
A double finger guy, Hoff is. Are you a single finger giver or a double?
I think I'll yell something. Like if somebody cuts me off, I don't think I'd give them the...
You don't do the hand sign anymore?
Oh, wait, but you got to do it all. You got to do the fingers and the cursing at the same time.
Yeah.
You got to do it all.
I don't know if I do the
friends, you know?
I don't know if I do the finger.
Yeah. Remember the old-fashioned Italian one where you kind of hit the arm? I don't want to do it.
I like that one.
That's an old-school one. You know which one.
All right, number 2. Better rivalry, and Hoff, maybe you could hop in here as well. Better rivalry, Yankees, Sox, or Cardi B and Nicki Minaj?
Yeah, those two have a lot going on, huh?
Did you see any of that?
Yeah, a lot is going on there. I mean, I parachute in and out fairly fast with that stuff, but enough to know that it ain't good. So
do either? Well, again,
it's still Yankees, Red Sox, although it's growing. Yankees, Red Sox has kind of faded the last 10, 12 years, whatever, outside of now.
I wish. I mean, it would be entertaining if Cora and Boone started saying some of the things that Cardi B and Nicki Minaj were saying to each other last night. Did either of you two, Alex or Hoff, see what was going on with the Nicki Minaj Cardi B beef from last night?
A little bit.
Oh man. Now, like, you don't have to like their music or whatever to be into this. This is like...
Do you like one of the two better?
Nicki's better.
Yeah, I'm a Nicki Minaj fan myself. I don't want any beef with either of them.
No, we're going to pass on that beef.
I like Cardi B. I love Nicki Minaj. Like, if I was more of a fan of Nicki Minaj her music than Cardi B, but I happen to like both. Now, Cardi B's dating Stephon Diggs.
Yes.
But, dude.
Well, didn't they find some sort of pink powder on the boat over the summer? And Diggs got called into Vrabel's office. They found some pink powder in a little baggie.
But if you're not caught up on this beef, I'm talking about you, the listener.
Yeah.
It is entertaining at the least. You can be like, who cares about Cardi B or Nicki Minaj? Do yourself a favor and go to their Twitter timelines and read them. And it is just as nasty.
Is there stuff that we just...
You probably can't even say it.
Can I just ask, though, this is not going to get serious like Tupac, Biggie stuff, right?
I will say that for the first time, because they've had beef over the years.
Oh, they've always had beef.
Last night, for the first time, it hit me like, holy cow. Like, this could result in somebody getting killed here. Like, now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but the way that those words, the war of words has escalated, to me, would make me think that there is at least a chance of something popping off like
God
that.
forbid you don't want to see that,
man. Dude, it's bad.
Well, I know. I'm looking some of the stuff now. Falling off the charts.
No, it was like, about being...
No, I'm looking. It's getting to that. Okay, we can't get into a lot of this stuff here.
But it was nasty and ugly. So anyway, I think it is a bigger rivalry than the Yankees and Red Sox. All right, final one before we get back to the calls here. If the Yankees win, BT, will you be
win the game or win the World Series?
Win this series.
Okay.
Will you be doing shots with players like you did with St. John's?
No. That was the St. John's fans. In case, for those who know, you remember that was funny. No, I will, but I will be going to some games. Like that's,
Are you going this weekend at all or no?
I need weekend games. That's the whole thing.
All right, so Saturday, Sunday, if they make it,
it would have to be because my son's got a football game at 6, so we can't do that.
Saturday.
And then Sunday would be the possibility. Listen, I told you the World Series game last year was a Saturday. The Astros game that I went to in 2022 was a Saturday. And it's just, not that I wouldn't take them on a weekday, but it's you get home at midnight, and I don't really care. Like it's once in, for school, it's whatever. You're gonna have a better memory with that, but that is kind of late. So I will, and I don't really drink when I go with him. So maybe if I'm going to do some shots, I leave him home, and Mitch drives, and I do shots with everybody. Here we go.
Right, with Mitch in right field. There
Mitch sent me a picture last night.
Yeah,
he was at the game. Of course, he was squawking about Fried getting pulled. Mitch was into it.
He's not happy with Boone, like a lot of people that were sending this message. All right, there you have it. A little 3RQ, Yankee centric. Have some fun with that. Let's get back to the Yankee fans here, talking about that Game 1 loss last night. Nick is calling from South Carolina. What's up, Nick?
Nick.
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Good.
Generally, we have two major problems on this team. And if we do make it past Boston, it's hard for me to say that we're going to go to the World Series. Generally speaking, you have got a bunch of Harvard graduate pencil necks who never owned a glove and a bat telling the team what to do. Number one. Number two. You've got a bullpen. We really don't have.
I was thinking the same thing. Yep.
Okay. You've got Bendar, who gives up a run almost every time he comes out. We don't have a bullpen that's worth diddly right now. So it's going to be closer by whoever's coming up in the ninth inning.
No, it's going to be Bednar. That's not true. It's going to be better. He's good. He's good.
Well, I don't think he's that great. I really don't. Okay. He gives up base hits and
he's not perfect
every time he comes in.
It's not Mo.
Yeah, that's the point. Like, he's not perfect. Is he a top 5 closer in the game? Maybe not, but he's good enough. Like, you got to hope that you could, or got to expect that you could win more than not with him closing a game.
How are you going to win a World Series when you don't have a reliable bullpen and a closer you can bring in and say, get me 3 outs? You cannot win a World Series that way.
Nick,
and here's one other thing I'll leave you guys with, because I'm so upset today.
Go ahead.
Okay, here it goes. You want to know what the real big difference is? George was a pain in the butt.
Here we go.
But George hated, hear me out. George hated losing more than he loved winning. He hated, especially to Boston.
Yep.
Hal, his son, does not have that passion whatsoever. This is a business to him and the bottom line. And with that, my friends, I don't think we're going anywhere. I really don't. Even if we make it past Boston, not with this. How can you leave a 30-30 guy on the bench and play Rosario at second? How can you leave Ben Rice on the bench and put Austin Wells behind the plate? This guy has looked at strike 3 so many times. He had a couple hits the last 10 games playing against sub-500 teams. Now you put him behind the bench because Fried likes him, and the guy, again, looks at strike 3 right down the pike with the men on base. This guy is not. He's a good catcher. He's not great though. You got Ben Rice, who has been
Nick. We got to get a little positivity. Nick, hey, take a breath, breathe, man. The Yankees are going to be fine tonight.
I don't know, guys.
I like your energy, Nick.
I was so pissed off after last night's game. I can't tell you. I was screaming. And
who were you
really,
screaming at, Booney?
No, the TV. Well, Booney, forget it. When he pulled out Rice, I said, "What do you do? You got the bottom of the lineup coming." Yeah. Well, what is the matter with this man?
What he pulled?
This is what I say. Generally speaking, you've got these guys that are making these decisions in the analytical department, and I'll tell you what, this was all scripted. This was done ahead of time. Boone has some flexibility, but this was done ahead of time. Basically, he hits 100 pitches, get him out, get Weaver or Devin Williams in. That's what this was all about. And I don't know what else to say, guys.
Well, good luck, Nick. Good luck to your Yanks tonight. Hang in there. I mean, imagine that. I get it. Frustrating loss. But, I mean, the Yankees, one of the most winning franchises in the history of sports.
Doesn't mean anything right now. It's been a while, man. 2009, long time ago. Tired of hearing about that.
Yeah.
The aura, the dynasty, this, that, win.
But they didn't even lose the series. Like, they lost a game to the best pitcher.
Understood.
What were the odds? I didn't check.
I didn't check either.
I'd be curious to see if one of you two, Hoff or Alex, could look it up, what the odds were going in that game last night if the Red Sox were favored. I would have to imagine they were. No?
For the series or for the game?
No, for the game.
I would think that they were slight favorites. It could have been a push. It could have been even money either way.
With Crochet on the mound.
Maybe slight lean Crochet.
Yanks will be big favorites, I would think, the next 2 days.
Maybe Boston, if I'm guessing, minus 115 last night. Maybe Yankees plus 105, something like that.
Now's where you get a better price on the Yankees for the series.
Yes, you do, no doubt.
Already down a game, so that's a good bet.
And we're going to get an answer on Rodon, something you and I have gone back and forth on. I trust him a lot more than he's had a really good season. I do trust him. I wouldn't say explicitly, like with everything that I have, but he has changed my opinion, and he's going to answer the bell tonight. They're not going to lose tonight because of Rodon if they lose.
John calling from Brooklyn. What's up, John?
Johnny.
Hey, what's up, guys? I know, thanks for taking the call. I know everybody's complaining about the Yankees, and I'm not going to be any different. And I guess I'm just going to say the same type of stuff, but I'm Fried, even though he you got to go batter there. I won't go into that. I just kind of want to go, and I don't even want to argue about, the Jazz Chisholm thing or the Trent Grisham thing, because we don't have another guy to put in the outfield, even though Trent Grisham hits lefties worse than anybody on our team, but we don't have another guy to put in the outfield there. Jazz Chisholm, though, does hit lefties better than Caballero and strikes out a lot less against lefties than Caballero. So I'm not really sure what happened there. I guess maybe they didn't want to have Rosario at third or Jazz at third because Breed's going to give up a lot of ground balls to third, to the glove side, so they needed good defense there. But, so my main gripe is the ninth inning. Goldschmidt gets on right away after seeing a couple of pitches. I'm screaming for a pinch runner, but then Judge, first pitch swinging. Okay, now Goldschmidt's at second. Please pinch run. Doesn't do it. Blair single from Bellinger first pitch.
I thought that ball could have been caught by Bellinger.
Some chaos
you know what I'm saying.
Maybe Judge
pissed off.
Maybe Judge is there. And I want to say that, because if you guys disagree with me, I'd love to be able to respond because, I think that the pitcher feels different if that guy comes around and scores. If Judge gets to third and there's nobody out.
Here's my theory on it, John. If you get, and I say this with the Mets all the time, and thank you for the call, and it pertains to last night with the Yankees as well. If you get a base hit with a runner in scoring position, the runner's got to score. I know that it's not 100% every time, but to me, it's too conservative to just say, well, we got bases loaded with nobody out, and we're going to score a run. Because I've seen it too many times with both the Mets and the Yankees that they can't get a run across. I am being aggressive. It's why I want to build a team that actually has guys that can score from scoring position when you get a base hit. It's hard to get 3 hits in a row, but you do that and you don't score a run. Now you're going to get 4 hits in a row to get both runs across, you would hope. So I would be aggressive. I'm not saying last night was that specific case because it was a ball that hung up.
Yeah, you got to go halfway. You got to get the read. And even the ball that Jazz hit, you're not going to send him from third base. He would have been out. Even though the throw was up the line, in hindsight, it's a bad throw. But there's no way I'm sending Goldschmidt on the pop fly by Jazz. The ball from second was... I'm not sending him either.
One-run game you probably would have. And also, yes, he should have been pinch run for, which would have had Caballero on the bench. Ideally, you have a guy, you want to say Dominguez, okay, I guess he could have done that too.
Yeah, why else is he on the team, Dominguez? He's going to play. He's not going to play. He's not going to start. He's not going to pinch hit for somebody. He's not going to go in to play defense.
I know.
He's going to run.
Look,
That's what he's here for.
To me, you got to be aggressive there. All right, BT itself. But again, I'm not saying that specific spot. I'm just saying in general, 3 hits in a row when you don't score a run, that's a problem. BT and Sal on the Fan will reset down with the king topic of the day. It is, of course, the Yankees taking the L in Game 1. We'll also look ahead to Game 2 next hour as we get a huge game tonight, a literal must-win for the Yankees. 888-808-1019.
It's Keith McPherson at night on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
When the season started, we were living in a Mets world. I swear, everything that was popping up was the Mets house. Come to Amazing Day. Juan Soto jersey. Buy your tickets. The Mets, the Mets, the Mets. It was Mets mania.
Stream Keith McPherson live or on demand with the Odyssey app. And podcast the show wherever you get your podcasts.
Football season is here, and just like winning teams, your engagement should be all about the best. So if you're ready to pop the big question this season, why not visit the experts at London Jewelers? With top-notch professionals and cutting-edge technology, London Jewelers can help you select or even design the absolute perfect ring. So whether you're starting over or starting new, let the professionals at London Jewelers be a part of your journey. Visit any one of their convenient 6 locations across New York and New Jersey. London Jewelers, serving you and your family since 1926. For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
We could tell you what it's like to drive the Nissan Rogue and tell you all about its performance capabilities, like its VC turbo engine, its impressive fuel economy. Still going. It's I can go virtually anywhere type of freedom. Nice. But you don't have to take our word for it. Go drive it for yourself. You're up. Experience the power of the Nissan Rogue.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue, Pathfinder, or Murano. For well-qualified buyers, example 0 down payment. 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per 1,000 financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to Nissan Motor Acceptance Company credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 11/3/25.
Regular cancer screenings could save your life. New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, breast, prostate, and more. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price? Get to Town Fair Tire for Michelin's Cross Climate tires, offering a design that delivers an exceptional level of long-lasting performance throughout the tire's lifespan. Plus, Town Fair gives you more free services than anywhere else. For the guaranteed lowest price and your best deal on Michelin Cross Climate tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday this season, all the way through the AFC Championship game. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
With great deals coming this Prime Big Deal Days, October 7th and 8th, greatness is a deal away. So if you love baking, you can get a deal on a new mixer, transforming you into the Lord of the Loaves.
Hear ye, hear ye!
ready for the baron of brioche, the sultan of sourdough, the lord of the loaves, prime member Dave!
Yeah, hi?
Get up to 40% off with Prime Big Deal Days October 7th and 8th.
Huge savings on Dell AI PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors are here, and they're newly designed to help you do more faster. They can generate code, edit images, multitask without lag, draft emails, summarize documents, create live translations, and even extend your battery life. That's the power of Dell AI with Intel inside. Upgrade today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Wake up with Boomer and Geo, mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Stations.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 12:03. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Duke's Mayonnaise. And just like that, the Yankees facing elimination. Nobody in postseason history had ever lost like they did last night. Bases loaded, no outs, bottom nine, and not scoring at all. But Aaron Judge thinks that failed rally might help going forward.
Couldn't pull away with one there or two to tie it, but I like us getting a little chance to see Chapman there, and we'll see him over the next 2 days, that's for sure.
Brian Bayo is the opposition. Tonight it'll be hard for him to be as good as Garrett Crochet was last night. Carlos Rodon throws the first pitch at 6:08, so pregame coverage 5:25 here on the Fan. Plus, Tiki and Evan are at the stadium as well. Brian Snitker is stepping away after 10 years as Braves manager, and the Devils striking an extension with Luke Hughes, 7 years, $63 million. The 22-year-old defenseman was a restricted free agent and had been staying away from training camp. Fan weather is sponsored by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they are the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. It's 62 degrees with clear skies in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports Flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Real sports talk for real fans with real opinions. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn.
Back on the Fan, we are down with the king topic of the day, and it is the Yankees getting crowned last night, unfortunately. Garrett Crochet, he was dominant. And to me, BT, and we started the show talking about it, we'll continue to talk about it for the next couple hours, and also look ahead to Game 2 tonight, which I think could be a completely different story. But I thought the Yankees managed not just the manager, the Yankees managed a horrible game in Game 1.
All the fears that Yankee fans had, and there was a lot of confidence, too, and there should be. I don't think this series is over, and we'll get more into tonight as we move on here, obviously. But the fears about this team may be lumped in with some of the most recent Yankee iterations, whether it's the inability to hit really elite pitching in October, or the bullpen, or more recently Aaron Judge's arm, and of course for many, some of the decisions Aaron Boone makes. They were all on display last night. I mean, everything came to fruition with the Fried decision, with the bases juiced and nobody out. The bullpen, everybody got dotted for the most part, and Judge's arm was an issue on that base hit by Solgar. Just doesn't throw it the way he did. So they've got to, it's not like they played a sloppy game. Like, really, the defense was, Volpe was solid at short, Caballero was good at third, Rosario turned that double play, even though his glove was turned weird. He looked like a little leaguer. It's almost like he caught the ball behind him, the one in the sixth inning, before Fried came out to get the first hitter in the seventh. They just didn't hit. I think that changes tonight, but if it doesn't and the Yankees lose, this is going to hurt for me a lot more than the Astros in 2022 and other ones, because this Yankee team should be playing for a month.
Yeah, I guess the biggest question comes down to, was last night the outlier? And we can pick apart the decisions as we have for 2 hours. Like, I would have never have taken Fried out there, not because of the results, because I'd rather go go down with my best pitcher as opposed to a bullpen arm who struggled this year. Like Boone couldn't wait to get to Weaver. To me, he did it because he thought, and I trust him at his word saying that he thought Fried was tired. There was reason to believe that as well. I would just rather a tired Fried. Like nobody's going to dispute that he wasn't tired. I'd rather a tired Fried and try to get another 10 pitches out of him than I would go to a fresh Luke Weaver. I don't care what part of the order is up. So the issue with that, an issue with the lineup from the start. I didn't like it yesterday when we broke it down. An issue with Jazz getting in the game late. It made no sense to me having Jazz come in as a defensive replacement, and then you found him in a spot in the ninth inning, which is exactly what we were trying to avoid by going with the matchups that you had to begin with as far as that lineup goes. So I thought they managed a horrible game, but was that who the Yankees are, or was it a one-off because it was Garrett Crochet and because of the circumstances of that tight game one? Are we going to see a totally different story tonight with a totally different Yankee lineup and a totally different pitching matchup? I think that we will. I think that last night was the aberration. Not good, certainly, and it can't happen, but I think that was the aberration.
I hope so, and I'll tell you, the expectation tonight has to be that Rodon's going to go very long. One of the things is, as we dissected the decision with Fried and how far Crochet went, throwing 15 extra pitches. Crochet averaged 99 pitches a game this year, which was the most in baseball, and Max Fried was right behind him at 97.3, and tonight, Rodon, who's going, was tied with Fried. So Fried and Rodon were tied for second at 97.3, and I think, and there was, his first year in New York with Rodon, there was just anger and disappointment and confusion, and then last year, you a little bit less than me, last year he earned back some respect. And then this year, I thought he won back almost all of it. He has been terrific, but they cannot afford a regression from Rodon tonight.
We're going to find out. Like, I can think what I think. You can think what you think. Definitively, this year, he was terrific. Like, there's nobody who's going to dispute that. And I never thought that we'd get to this point. So he's already proven me wrong in that regard, where I thought, like, after year one, God, forget him. Much like I did with Edwin Diaz years ago. So Rodon is on that trajectory, which to me is an impressive one, coming back from the dead here in New York. Most guys, when they struggle here, have to go somewhere else to have success. Rodon figured it out. It took him a couple of years, but he figured it out. However, tonight is it. Like, if he does not pitch up to the highest of standards the way that he set this year, that's going to be a problem tonight. It doesn't mean that the Yankees can't win, but it means that I don't know how you could ever trust Rodon again if he doesn't go out there and have a strong performance tonight.
I think he's going to pitch well. I hear you on that. I mean, he's got to deliver, and the Yankee bat's got to wake up. And if it does, and that happens, you got to love, if we get there, the way the Yankees would be lined up for Game 3 with Schlittler, who's been filthy. But before Game 3, got to get it tonight.
You know, the other thing, BT, and we touched on this a little bit earlier, but I thought last night was a huge night for Aaron Judge, being that there were two guys in the lineup that I trusted to do damage against Garrett Crochet. It was the two righties, Judge and then Stanton. Obviously, we know Stanton failed miserably last night. He looked overmatched. Boone could say he had good swings. He was overmatched by Crochet, didn't get the job done. It's a huge reason why the Yankees lost, more so even than the decisions, the lineup, and all that stuff.
I was surprised Boone said he had good swings. I don't like his swings all night. He looked awful.
Yeah, I'm with you. So I don't know what he was talking about. They maybe just trying to positive reinforce. Whatever. We saw the result.
Positive Booney.
Whatever. But to me, Judge, and it's hard to knock Judge when he gets 2 base hits. I get it.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge hitting singles is a win for the opposition. Shohei Ohtani in his first at bat last night hits a home run. That's like, again, it's impossible to hold Judge to the standard of, hey, if you're not hitting home runs every at bat, what are you doing? But if I'm Cora and the Red Sox, I would sign for Aaron Judge hitting a single every single time he comes up. That's not what Judge does in the regular season. Judge does damage. Homers, doubles, damage. So he needs to do that. He didn't do it last night. Again, I'm not saying he was awful, but he's not Aaron Judge yet. We need to see Judge at some point do damage. And I thought last night he was going to do it against Crochet because he's the best against the best there. He did not. It wasn't enough damage to get the Yankees the victory. So we still need to see Aaron Judge take over. Maybe it happens tonight, tomorrow, who knows. But I do think that when Judge hits singles, hard to rip somebody who gets a base hit, but that to me is a win for the opposition.
I didn't expect him to do a whole lot last night. I know he had the big home run against Crochet this year, but obviously he's got 2 for his career, but 10 or 11 strikeouts, uncomfortable matchup.
Or even against Chapman.
Yeah. I look at it differently, though, because to me, to get to Judge being Judge and banging some 3-run home runs, hopefully, going on a multi-week binge here and winning a championship, to me, the singles have to come first. What would have, because I think it puts him in a mindset, especially in October. Like, think about this. So, and I know you're not crushing him for 2 hits, and both were hit hard, by the way. One was over 105, whatever. They were both on he had a foul ball that he just was out in front of down the third base line that was crushed. So I like the way he looked in the batter's box. But if Aaron Judge goes 0 for 4 last night with 2 punch outs, a weak pop up and a ground out, Where is his mindset? And what happens if he starts tonight and he's 0 for 2, and all of a sudden you hear a couple of groans in the crowd? Here we are, 0 for 6. Oh, come on, Judge, what's going on? So I think the 2 singles last night will free him up to be Judge tonight.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. To start us off this hour, Jim is calling from Wayne. What's up, Jim?
Hey, thanks, guys, for taking my call. Great show. And thanks for letting me vent for a minute.
Go for it.
You know, it's easy to sit here and question Boone in the analytics department, and trust me, I do. But what I find really frustrating is watching them do the same things that they did last year in the World Series that cost them the World Series. And in particular, there were 2 balls, singles through the middle of the infield that got turned into doubles. And that just can't happen. It resulted in an extra run. If they're down 1 run in the ninth, they definitely score 1 run because they're going to pinch run for Goldschmidt.
Yep.
Dominguez probably scores from second on Bellinger's single, and he definitely scores on Chisholm's fly ball if he doesn't score before that. And it's a tie game.
Yep.
You can't give up extra runs.
Jim?
They have to...
Jimmy, one thing, though. You're right. Like, that's a concept that nobody's going to push back on. But you bring up last year in the World Series, right? Last year was egregious. I mean, Judge booting the ball, the play with Volpe and Jazz, with Gleyber Torres staring up into space when the ball's trickling through the infield. Last night, I thought, on it, to be fair, I thought it was more hustle and more awareness by the Red Sox rather than just sloppy, egregious defense by the Yankees. I think it's a little different, myself.
I think the ball that got hit the Judge, I mean, they know his arm is compromised.
Yep.
The ball that went to Grissom, he's a great outfielder, but he nonchalants things, and they know, and they know he wasn't charging that ball and getting set up to get it in as fast as he could. And they got to treat every play like the game depends on it.
That's fair.
And,
all right, that part's fair. I got you. Yeah.
And, you know, I just watch him do it over and over, and that's what I find most frustrating.
Okay.
And thank you for the call, Jim. We appreciate you checking in. I just think it's going to be different tonight. Like last night, and we can nitpick. We have nitpicked a lot of different things. To me, that was one game in a 3-game series that, you know, if you're getting, well, the Yankees, they don't do this right and they don't do that right and they're giving away stuff. Like that happens throughout the course of a season, certainly happens throughout the course of a series or throughout the course of the game. If they do it again tonight, well, they're going to be going home, and then it's a whole different level of evaluation and all that stuff. But I would just chalk that up last night. It was a hard-fought game, a tight game, a good game. Yeah. It's a playoff game. They came out on the wrong end of it. The Red Sox pitchers were better, Crochet and Chapman, than the Yankees pitchers. Yankees had to use more. That's it. End of story. Yankees didn't do enough offensively, defensively, on the bases, certainly pitching. They didn't do enough. They weren't awful. They didn't do enough. The Red Sox were elite last night because they had an elite starting pitcher that allowed them to bridge it to an elite closer, and they held on for dear life. I would think that it's going to look and feel completely different tonight.
I do trust the Yankees defense. You know, I'm 100%, probably not, but a lot higher than last year. Think about 2 of the plays that were made last night. So the play by Goldschmidt where he flipped to Fried, obviously that first out in the 7th, that was a tough, 2-way play. You got to make the snag. You got to hit somebody running, and it was a pretty good throw, and Fried's a great athlete. Boom. And even the play, and this gets overlooked because the Yankees lost, but the play that Bellinger held, it wasn't Sogard. Who was it? Somebody hit a bullet down the left field line, and Bellinger did a really good job getting to it quick and stopping on a dime and throwing a strike to second to keep him at first for a single. So, and listen, Caballero made a couple of decent plays at third. Rosario turned that double play. Volpe had a play or 2 early where he looked pretty short-handed. The Yankees didn't lose last night because of the defense. The Judge arm is going to be an issue all year, but they didn't lose because they kicked it around.
No, that's not going away. Paul is calling from Colts Neck, New Jersey. What's up, Paul?
Oh, what's up, man?
Hey. Hey, man, how are you? I miss you, man.
I miss you, too.
Hey, listen, I don't know if anybody knows this. I know, and I'll get to my point in a second, but when BT talks about his son playing football, he only scratches the surface. Colton is a complete stud as a quarterback.
Dude,
this kid, No. I told him. I'm sure you show Sal videos. This kid is
I show Sal.
A complete D1 kid. I don't care what. You could just look at this kid already and see how he grades out. So great job. All right.
Thanks, man.
So, let me get to what makes me so uncomfortable about this manager. All right. I have never seen him outmanage anybody in the last few years in a big spot. I go back to the Dodgers last year with Nestor Cortez, and I go back to the fact that we're only in this spot having to play 3 wild card games at Yankee Stadium, even if we get to 3, because of how bad he managed all year. We should have been sitting home waiting for the winner of the Blue Jay Red Sox series, but because of him, this is where the spot we're in. To make matters worse, yeah, you push your starter, and we talked about it last night. You got to make him finish at the bottom of the order. But you said it to me last night. That was Grady Little last night after a walk and a double, and he walks out to the mound and then sheepishly walks back into the dugout, and the next pitch is a 2-run single.
But at least Grady Little went down with his best.
With Pedro.
Like I understand that was right. That was the other extreme, but I'd rather that getting beat by your guy Pedro, thinking like, I'm not getting beat by the bullpen arms. I don't care who they are. I'm going to ride Pedro out and squeeze everything I can from him. And the Yankees the exact opposite. It's like, Fried might have a couple more, but I'm not willing to risk it.
I agree. What was the rush to bring in a 9 ERA guy in September in the spot where you should be playing like it's Game 7?
And Paulie, by the way, Paulie, I'm happy that you referenced it. Yeah, because I don't know if everybody knows that Luke Weaver's ERA in September was 9.5, and by the way, his ERA in July was almost 8. So it's not like this was one aberration of a bad month. Luke Weaver has not been the same Luke Weaver from last season. The rush to get to him made 0 sense, dude. None.
I agree. Hey, listen. I'm going to leave you guys with this.
Go ahead, man.
Easily the best show on the Fan, and it's not even close, guys. Keep up the good work.
Thanks,
okay?
man.
We appreciate
Thanks,
the kind words, Paul.
That's my guy right there.
Thanks for the call.
Spent a lot of time with him watching the kids play baseball. It's great. That's the kid's son who is like a young A-Rod. He's ridiculous.
A young A-Rod.
He's unbelievable.
Get A-Rod to look at some of the
I
video.
texted A-Rod to come on the show.
And where is he?
Crickets. But he texted me last night complaining about that's what I don't get. And I hadn't communicated with Alex for about 3 weeks, right? So, and I'm like, I wonder if you forgot about me after lunch, right? But he goes on these tweet binges, and then he's texting me out of nowhere about complaining about, I'll keep it between us, stuff about the game. And then, I'm going back and forth, and I'm saying what I'm saying. He's saying what I wake up, he hit nine texts from him this morning because I guess he was thinking about it. Then I text him back. I'm like, hey, come on the show with me and Sal. Nothing.
Hey, we heard playoff time. It's playoff baseball. Come on, A-Rod. Yankee legend, let's go. I was there in 2009 watching that series against Minnesota where A-Rod woke up in the postseason finally.
Yep.
He had a minute. Let's talk some Yankee baseball.
He's got the invite, and he said, I will come on with you guys in October. Well, I'll plug Fox. Well, Alex, it's October 1.
October 1, where are you, big guy? Let's go.
There might not be an October 3. You might have to do it today or tomorrow.
Hoff did enlighten me there that Weaver has had, would you say, 5 scoreless appearances? In his last 5 outings have been 5 scoreless. Still, I mean, he's had a bad year. I understand what Boone was trying to do. I vehemently disagree with it.
Yep.
He chose to go down with less than his best. I would have gone down with my best. Either way, you could have gone down. But for me, if I'm going down with my best. Matt is calling from Manorville. What's up, Matt?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, Matt.
You know I'm a big fan. I call in all the time, and we go back and forth. We always have good conversation. But I needed to reference that, Sal, man, you keep saying that Garrett Crochet outpitched Max Fried, and maybe visually you think that, but I mean, when they took out Fried, it was 1-0, and we were winning. So how do you see him outpitching Max Fried? They're completely different pitchers. Max Fried throws 7 different pitches. He's not one of the guys like Garrett Crochet where visibly, if you're watching, he's mowing them down, Garrett Crochet, because he throws 100 miles an hour and he throws the nasty sweeper. He throws maybe 2-3 pitches. Max Fried is throwing, the high sweeper. Then he comes inside with the cutter. Then he comes in with the fastball.
Matt,
he didn't outpitch him. He didn't outpitch him.
Yes, he did.
He didn't. It was 1-0 Yankees.
Matt, he dominated the Yankee lineup. It was
1-0 Yankees when he took him out. How is that dominating Max Fried?
Right. You're right. It was 1-0 Yankees. Congrats. You could read the scoreboard. Did you watch the game?
I watched the game. I mean, what happened? Max Fried had a couple dribblers. I mean, a couple C&I singles.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Well, Matty, listen, Matt, I mean, not to tag team you here, but dude, I mean, all you had to do was watch the game. Max Fried, nobody's saying Max Fried didn't pitch well. Garrett Crochet looked like Randy Johnson dominant. The swings that the Yankees took, every swing that Grisham took was gross. Did you see the splitter that Stanton missed by 2 feet and a mile? And again, Max Fried showed great guile with guys on base and having to dance out. He pitched really well. Crochet was better.
But out-pitched? I mean, come on, guys.
Yes.
I mean,
he did.
I mean, maybe a little bit, but not enough to take him out in the 7th inning with one out.
But that's a different argument. You're sensitive for some reason to saying that Garrett Crochet outpitched Max Fried, which anybody who watched the game unbiasedly, take the pinstripe glasses off and just admit that Garrett Crochet pitched a hell of a game last night. It's not a knock on Max Fried. Max Fried was terrific.
Yep.
But he was starting to peter out there, and which is why what led Boone to have to even make the decision to begin with. I mean, look at the dominance from Crochet. 7 2/3, 11 strikeouts, didn't walk anybody. Max Fried was having trouble the last couple innings, so only 6 strikeouts. Now, it's not a knock, but allowed 3 walks and 4 hits. So, yeah, Crochet got beat by the homer. Tip your cap to Volpe. He beat him there. Garrett Crochet was better. He went deeper into the game and was more dominant. By any measurement, he was better. With that being said, I agree. I would have left Max Fried in the ballgame. But I don't know how you could argue that he was better than Crochet.
He wasn't. Come on. I mean, Crochet he was really filthy. And Crochet doesn't just throw 2 pitches. I mean, I'm looking at his fan graphs, and I knew it wasn't 2, but I just wanted to get a better sense of it. He threw his fastball this year 36% of the time. I'm the 4-seamer. He threw a cutter 22.5%. Obviously, he's got a slider. He's got the sweeper, which is filthy. He's got a changeup that he threw a little less than 5% of the time. So he's not quite as deep in the repertoire as Max Fried, who does have 6 or 7, but Crochet's not a 2-pitch guy. All right, 12:23, BT and Sound on the Fan. 888-808-1019. We'll get back to these Yankee calls. Start turning the page from the anguish of last night to hopefully the euphoria, of Game 2 tonight. All right, FanDuel's getting you ready for kickoff with an offer that you don't want to miss. New customers bet $5 and get $300 back in bonus bets if you win. That's right, pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you're going to unlock $300 back in bonus bets to use all across the app. Now, build parlays, player props, you can ride the live lines, whatever it might be, whatever your style is, FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season's finally here. The one question is, are you ready to jump in and play? And if you are and you're not already a member, jump in now. Sign up. Visit FanDuel.com/BT. That's FanDuel.com/BT to download the FanDuel app and get started. That's FanDuel.com/BT. We love it around here. Great app. Simple to use, by the way, guys. Safe and secure. And when you win, most importantly, you get paid right away. So the money's there. All right? Bleep you. Pay me. FanDuel, the official partner of WFAN, 21 plus and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, please call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Wild card game 1 went Boston's way.
We'll take a 1-0 lead in this best-of-3 series.
Now the Bombers' backs are against the wall as game 2 is a win or lights-out situation.
We've been playing with a lot on the line seemingly every single day. We'll be ready to go, and I expect us to come out and get one.
Catch all the postseason excitement here on your exclusive home for everything New York Yankees. Tune in for Game 2, 6:08 tonight. Driven by Jeep, 101.9 FM WFAN. And always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is the Duke's country song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions, participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Nobody beats a Town Fair tire deal. And I mean nobody. So if you're looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price, get to Town Fair today. Michelin winter tires offer a shorter stopping distance on ice and snow, along with predictable handling in cold, dry, and wet wintry conditions. For the guaranteed lowest price and free services for life on Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
So, there's this guy, Paul Rivera, grew up in the Bronx, made some mistakes, but eventually becomes one of those hard-working citizens who keep our city going. But he gets pulmonary fibrosis, and his only hope is a lung transplant. When one hospital, Montefiore Einstein, get him a new lung, and they give him a new life. Right. Everyone in his neighborhood is like,
they give that guy a new lung or a new motor.
The story, Mr. Giamatti. Well, you ought to know, Mr. Rivera, you lived it.
Everyone loves a comeback. Montefiore Einstein, national leader in transplant.
Our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical. But did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the stadium before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employee Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
Find excellence in every detail in a new Volvo. At Volvo Cars Ramsey, 8-time winner of the Volvo Excellence Award. Choose from excellent offers on a new Volvo XC40, XC60, or a new 2025 Volvo XC90. View our entire inventory at VolvoCarsRamsey.com. Find excellence in a new Volvo at Volvo Cars Ramsey, where it's all about you.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6812. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6812. That's 800-575-6812. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The Mega Millions jackpot is now up to $520 million. It only takes one ticket to walk away with a big win. Get yours today. Anything can happen in Jersey.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and South back on the Fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call. A big game 2 tonight in the Bronx. Evan and Tiki be doing their show live from the stadium. Looking forward to that. Look, this is what happens in a series. Now, I don't like the idea, BT, of a best of 3 wild card. Like, think about it. It's so abrupt. And it has nothing to do with the Yankees losing last night. There's not, New York sour grapes because our team is down. No. It's just in general, to settle 162. I hated the 1-game wild card.
Yeah, that was the worst.
Yeah, to settle 162 over 1 game, and even 3, to me, is too abrupt. Think about all that we talked about throughout the course of this Yankee season, and what I think was a disappointing Yankee season, the majority of it, didn't result in a division title, and because of that, they could be on the outside looking in a couple of days. But either way, don't you think at least it should be best of 5? Like, baseball to me would benefit from having a shorter regular season, but expanding the postseason. It's a win-win. They get more games, more money. We get more games that matter. So where you would have a best of 5 series for the wild card and then best of 7 from there on out.
I think I like that. They'll never do it. I don't think, because I think that they'll just continue to go 162. Expansion's coming. You're going to see a realignment. We've talked about that.
Why not? Don't you think now? Again, I don't know the finances. Don't you think that expanding the postseason, like even the division series, a best of 5, it's a fun series, but even that to me feels like you need a best of 7 in the division. So now you want to say pitching, it wears out the pitching. But if you replace, let's say, 15 games or 20 games in the regular season with the 20 games or more meaningful games in the playoffs, how is that? Like, how would they be able to monetize it?
I'd like to really be more informed to answer that financially. And I followed this stuff. I don't know, because think about this. So the extra games you're getting in the expanded wild card, which I liked as a concept. And divisional. Right. I like as a concept because it's just probably a better representation. The better team winning, it's more fair, okay?
Correct.
But all the other games you're deleting for the 20 teams that don't, or 18, however many, that you don't make it. So now let's go 20 times 10, that's 200. And now you start getting into the regional TV and the other contract stuff. That's why I'd like to have somebody dig into this that's much smarter than me.
The guaranteed games that everybody gets.
Correct.
Does that outweigh?
I think it does. That's my first guess, but I don't know for sure.
But it would also maybe incentivize owners to try to make the postseason and spend. And by the way, you could also expand the postseason a little bit. Not that I would be a fan of that.
More?
Well, I'm saying not that I would be a fan of that, but
this year you would have been a fan of that.
Yeah, even so, like come on,
you would have been a fan of it this year.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about it. I'm better off the Mets.
At least the Reds got crushed last night.
Yeah, like the Mets would have done the same thing. They stayed. So thanks for even bringing them up. But the point is, I feel like I'd rather have more teams in the postseason and more postseason games than I would play out the string of 162, which is just and again, I'm a baseball purist. I love 162. I love the fewer teams in the playoffs. The way the game is now, I think they'd benefit from having more excitement, a shorter regular season, which makes those games more meaningful. Even if it does result in an expanded postseason, more postseason games makes everybody happier. Longer series is more drama. I love those games yesterday, even around the league. Like, those are fun games. Playoff baseball is great. Why not expand that? At the very least, if you're not expanding the amount of teams in there, expand the series a little bit.
Yeah, you and I were talking before the show. I mean, yesterday was a really good baseball day. As much as we're wrapped up at the Yankees, obviously, there were some sick pitching performances. It was a good start.
Yeah.
I agree with you. As a concept, I'm with you. I don't know about the economic feasibility, like in terms of if you did something like that, how it would offset the other 10, 12, 15 games that you're lopping off for the rest of the league. No, but more high-profile games, of course, the better. No question.
Bill is
aesthetically, at least. I just don't know financially.
All right. Bill is calling from Allenhurst, New Jersey. What's up, Bill?
Hey, Bill.
Hi, good afternoon. I think you guys have hit the nail on the head, but the Yankees last night typified the Yankees of the entire season. And let me kind of elaborate. First, letting analytics dictate the lineup. They've been doing that for quite a long time, not just this season. Second, not being able to bring in runners in scoring position, both in the second inning and, of course, in the ninth inning. Third, pulling a starter who's doing well for a reliever. And if you look at the history of our relief pitching this year, how many leads have they blown? I would say it's probably at least 10. Then was it analytics that didn't allow Rice to pinch hit for Wells when Volpe was on second? And it just, to me, is this is what the Yankees are. We are a very good team. I think we're better than the Red Sox, as you've pointed out.
Yep.
But these flaws keep popping up year after year after year.
Yes, they do.
And I can't forget one year watching a homegrown and a caller earlier described a nerd with glasses and a laptop telling the pitching coach what to tell the pitcher. I'm not sure if it was the Rough Riders or the other minor league team, but Boone doesn't get away from that. And as Joe Torre said not too long ago, analytics doesn't say what's in people's heart or what's in people's mind. And when you look at Jazz Chisholm after the game, you know what was in his heart and in his mind.
Yeah, but he's got to be better than that. Right. He's got to be a little more mature.
I'm not defending what he did.
I know you're not.
I'm not defending what he did.
Yep. I got you.
Go ahead, Bill. Finish up.
Well, what we see is, in a nutshell, who the Yankees have been. They're a great team, but these consistent flaws kill us.
The problem is, and thank you for the call, Bill, while there's a lot of truth to what you're saying, you could just chalk last night up to, hey, Garrett Crochet is as nasty a pitcher as there is in the game. You tip your cap, you got beat. They tried their way. I didn't agree with it. Like, they very easily could have gotten beat had they started Ben Rice, had they started Jazz. Like, it very easily could happen. The same thing. Oh, Ben Rice overmatched, Grisham overmatched, Jazz overmatched, whatever.
Ben Rice doesn't make the play at first base if he's playing first base.
Whatever. Could have been the same result. So that's why, to me, it's not results-based. I'd rather have my guys, the best guys in there. Last night, you almost have to just eliminate because it was such a tough matchup on paper. There's a lot of truth to what you're saying about that as far as the analytics and the pre-planned, plan, for lack of a better term, all of that stuff. I don't think, though, that's why Boone took Fried out. I know you and I disagree about that. I don't think it was a predetermined thing where, I'm antsy to get to Weaver here. He thought that a tired Max Fried was not as good as an option as a healthy, fresh Luke Weaver against that part of the order. And I disagree with that. Yeah. Result can vary.
Yep.
I just disagree with that. I thought at the time, in real time, we predicted that could be the case going in. I disagree with it. But it is in line with the Yankees doing this, BT, repeatedly over the years.
Yeah, they do. And if you're right, and that's truly the calculus behind Boone's decision, then Boone really messed up. Now, the other thing, too, here is that, we focus on the last inning and, bases loaded, nobody out. But the Yankees, and Nicole brought this up, that's why I'm going back to it. First inning, Yankees had 2 on, nobody out. Goldie, little bloop, Judge base hit, boom, boom. And even if they don't, you got to have first and second, nobody out, and an ace on the ropes to get 0 was criminal. You just knew it was going to hurt you. But even if you don't score a run, or even if you only get 1, and I can make the case even 1 is not really acceptable with 3, 4, 5 coming up with 2 on and nobody out, you've got to at least stretch it out to a point where you make him throw 25 to 30 pitches, and they didn't even do that. 888-808-1019. I want to run something by you coming up next about analytics. We talk about analytics, but something that I had never, ever heard, and I'm generally interested in a conversation as well. I've never heard anybody bring this up, and this might bother you more from a Yankee perspective, but we'll get to that coming up. Hey, Ford distinct all-electric Cadillac, Sal. Now we got a couple of new caddies coming our way. We're going to jump into the electric Cadillac. I've got an XT6 now. You had the Cadillac last year. You love it. We're going to get it October 10th. We're going to get it for a couple of weeks and test them out again. And some drive them for performance and others for the range. And let's face it, it's also a pretty cool way to make an entrance. When the caddy pulls up, everybody notices 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. So whatever the reason is, never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Last year I had the all-electric Lyric. This year you're going to be getting the Vistic. I'm going to be getting the Optic, so looking forward to check that out. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles includes the Vistic, the Optic, the Lyric, and the Escalade IQ. Make sure you visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. The BT and Sal Show presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute sponsored by Chumba Casino, your online casino for plays, spins, and a chance to score. Must be 21 and over. Terms at ChumbaCasino.com. In Game 1, Aaron Boone pulled Max Fried with a 1-0 lead and no trouble brewing. The bullpen collapsed and Boston pounced. Meanwhile, Alex Cora rode his ace 117 pitches and nailed every matchup. Boone blinked, Cora didn't, and that's the story. If the Yankees can't trust their stars in October, what are they even playing for? I'm Maggie Gray.
Ready to kick off the fun? Chumba Casino is your go-to game plan during halftime or overtime. From spinning slots to instant scratch-style cards, it's like running the perfect play, all from home. New players score a free welcome bonus and daily logins with a shot at some serious prizes every time you play. Get in the game and visit ChumbaCasino.com today. Let's Chumba. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Attention retirement savers. A top U.S. bank predicts a 2025 recession as tariffs rattle markets. According to reports, 2025 recession risk just increased significantly. That's why thousands of hardworking Americans are turning to award-winning precious metals company, Goldco. Goldco is offering you a free 2025 gold and silver kit. Plus, you can get an unlimited instant match and bonus silver for qualified accounts. Call 855-969-GOLD. Find out how you can help diversify your savings. Tax and penalty free today. That's 855-969-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
In St. Pete, Clearwater, you can chill by the crystal clear Gulf.
And stroll downtown St. Pete's galleries and murals.
And hang with the locals at a fishing pier.
And escape to secluded white sand beaches.
Secluded, huh?
Yeah. And they're spectacular.
And then grab a sandwich at the grouper capital of the world.
And maybe a nightcap at a rooftop bar with sunset views.
Okay. In St. Pete, Clearwater, you'll find just what you're looking for.
And then some.
Your Florida escape begins at visitspc.com.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey!
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, imported by William Grant & Sons.
Long Island is brewing some spooky fun at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. We're celebrating this October for our $50,000 Witchy Wednesdays drawing. Be here on Wednesday, October 1st, 15th and 29th from 3 to 7 p.m. when 2 winners will be drawn every hour to pick a witch's hat and win up to $5,000 cash. Club members can conjure up to 5 times entry multipliers. Fly over to where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Lunch was great. Greenwich Village is a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's creoninfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Town Fair Tire honors any valid rebates, manufacturers or competitors' rebates. Yes, even any competitors' rebates. And we give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
This is Tiki Barber. You definitely don't want your heating system to fail this winter. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Have them check your heating system before it breaks. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They can fix anything. Go now to edisonhvac.com.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Talk New York sports on WFAN, 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS at Paramount Plus.
Give money.
BT and Sal back on the fan. Finally, some good music from Hoff today. He prides himself on music. It's all been that rock nonsense stuff.
Well, hey, easy on the rock, but Hoffy got a little flow today.
Yeah.
Hoffy coming nice.
I'm feeling it. What happened? Where'd all of a sudden you get this flow from the last couple of days?
Well, I told you.
This is all me. Why is he getting the credit?
Oh, Alex's arm.
I was going to do that, but yes, we both... Wow. We are playing.
Now it makes sense. Alex, I'm sorry. I should have known.
Shut up, both of you. Yankee. I went and wanted to get the feel of the Yankee fan, so I've been playing the past 2 days all
walk-ups.
Yankee walk-up.
And I appreciate that.
Yes.
I still feel like you missed Ben Rice, though, because I forget what his song is.
No, we did it yesterday. Feel Good Inc. from
Gorillas.
Yes, we played it yesterday.
All right, maybe I did maybe there was another one that I thought I was
Any
waiting
songs
to
I
hear.
know?
Well,
AC/DC, anybody coming up?
anyway, good job by Alex Azar, filled in for Dove with that. Dove is not, he's not hitting Kanye West or whatever it may be on the other side.
He's
or
playing the Eagles, which I love, but that's if he even plays the Eagles.
All right, what do you got? You had something.
Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
So just something to think about from an analytical perspective. Now, and I say this because we know, to what extent we don't fully know, but we know that the Yankees are strongly analytically driven. That is a premise that was long ago established. Okay, so if we know that, and we have access to all the data. Now, some people like to do deep dives. Some don't want to do that at all. If we wanted to put ourselves in position, and I love Baseball Savant, whatever, but you can even do deeper than that. We can literally come up with every type of number that the Yankees and the Red Sox have access to as well. We just don't have the time nor the bandwidth or even the interest to that extent to do that. I present all this to you because if we know that the Yankees are so analytically driven, that means that the Red Sox and everybody else knows that they're so analytically driven. And because they have access to what the Yankees have access to, wouldn't the Red Sox basically already kind of know what the Yankees are going to do before the Yankees do it based on tendencies and the numbers?
Yes.
So that's, what a disadvantage.
Well, that's why I don't like the way the sport has become with these. And I said this years ago, and I called Boone at first, but it was really not just him, everybody else. They're data applicators. The majority, and by the way, we're seeing managers drop like flies left and right here. Snicker leaving.
Yes.
Melvin got bounced. Bochy is out. Ron Washington is out. And those are a lot of old school guys.
Mendy still here?
Mendy is still
just checking. I don't know if Stern changed his mind.
Mendy is still here. Hey, man, maybe have one of those guys as a bench coach. But anyway, point is if you just apply the data, like anybody could do that. We joked about it saying yesterday, well, if you're just looking at the numbers, Baseball Savant or whatever, and saying, well, Rosario was 6 for 9 against Crochet, so let's put him in there. Yeah, well, what's the difference with Aaron Boone and me? If the Yankees hierarchy is going to put that analytics and data together and just say, well, here you go, Sal, this is the matchups, this is the numbers, and I go, well, you know what? That sounds good. This guy had success. Okay, here's a right-handed bat. Sure. Like, that is not distinguishing yourself as a manager to me. It's all about the analytics. Furthermore, to your point, yes, everybody has the same information for the most part. And if you're Cora and the Red Sox, you know exactly what Aaron Boone and the Yankees are trying to do and
what they
want
to do, which means that I can either deploy something preemptively or I can say, hey, you know what? They haven't gotten yet to what they want to get to, so I don't have to do something to counteract it yet, meaning I could save it for a different high-leverage situation.
Put it this way.
It's got to be a slight advantage.
Put it this way. I do this all the time and use this example. I think it is a helpful exercise. Put yourself in the opponent's shoes. The Yankees did the Red Sox a favor by not starting Ben Rice and Jazz Chisholm. Like, if I'm Cora, I'd rather say, oh, good, Rosario's good against lefties. Put him up there. Like, that's why the Mets a couple years ago, not this year, was it 2 years ago, with the lefties when they, even though the Mets weren't very good.
Talking about, who was the left fielder? Vogelback and Ruff.
When the Mets started their lefties against the Yankees in the Subway Series.
Oh, against the Yankees, okay.
Knowing that their lefties would cause a problem.
Yeah, who's that dude who batted leadoff? Thompson? Who batted leadoff? Jahmai Jones?
Exactly.
That's what you're talking about.
And I was thinking about him driving into that. Was the only thing missing from the Yankee lineup last night. Jahmai Jones, yeah. So the Mets specifically started a couple lefty pitchers. I forget the exact circumstances.
I do remember
what are they
that.
doing here?
And somebody batted fourth for the Yankees. That was ridiculous. I'm forgetting who that was, too.
Yeah,
but
they and the left, and it worked. The Mets went by the Mets saying we could throw lefties at the Yankees here, and they're going to throw this righty lineup out here, and it's going to negate their strength. So you're playing into what maybe the other team wants when you do that by taking your best players out of the game. Like having Ben Rice glued to the bench last night. If I'm Cora, I'm saying this is great. I don't have to worry about Rice. If Rice steps in the batter's box, whether you favor the matchup with Crochet or Chapman or not, Rice strikes fear in the opposition. So if I'm Cora, I don't want to see Rice in the batter's box, even if it is against a dominant lefty.
Well, the other thing that you know, and it doesn't seem like this is really baked in too much, but I'm looking at somebody like Ben Rice. Now, again, you and I viewed yesterday's lineup a little differently, but just to be fair to the conversation, like, all right, Ben Rice versus Crochet, that is a brutal matchup. But if Crochet makes one little mistake and leaves, the sweeper or a cutter or a four-seamer, at the belt or somewhere where Ben Rice could drop the barrel, he's going to do something that Rosario can't do in terms of power or just hit the ball explosively. Now, if you get up there once, the chances of Rice getting hit off Crochet or Chapman are fairly small. But if you give him 4 at-bats to get a gauge and get a read of the sequence of pitching and the movement, don't you think a good hitter is going to have a better chance to figure it out, even though you're at a disadvantage because it's a lefty to start? I would think that they would.
I just hate the idea of the I get it. I get why teams do it. I know it works in certain spots. I hate the idea of doing it in an overwhelming way. Hoff, what was that? You had the lineup there against the Mets lefties?
Yeah, so
this was not this past season, but 2 years ago.
Yeah, July 23rd, 2024. It was Jahmai Jones, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, J.D. Davis.
Yes!
All right, there you go.
J.D.
Anthony
Davis.
Volpe, Gleyber Torres, Alex Verdugo, Carlos Narvaez, DJ LeMahieu, and Luis Gil was pitching.
You do.
Well, remember the Mets, I think, pushed back Severino, and I was like, wow, they don't want him to face the Yankees in that spot. But it worked with the lefties. And that's the thing, okay, great. J.D. Davis is a righty bat. And he should hit lefties, a lefty masher. That's what we heard about. J.D. Davis sucks. Shouldn't be in the big leagues, let alone on the New York Yankees hitting cleanup in a Subway Series. That's part of the problem. So, and I know that this year's much, Rosario was better than J.D. Davis was back then, but it's still a Met Rosario. Follow the common ground here. J.D. Davis, washed up Met, was no good here. Yankees having him hit cleanup. Well, Met Rosario, washed up Met, while he may be a serviceable big leaguer against left-handed pitching, he shouldn't be hitting 5th in the New York Yankees game 1 of the postseason.
Let's do the lineup tonight. You ready?
Yeah, that is another thing.
You want to do
it
that? No, let's do it.
Okay.
You want to do it. So they'll have Grisham 1. They'll have Judge 2.
See, I want Rice 2nd. I want to go Grisham Rice. Now, you're probably right.
But it's a lefty, something they don't do. Grisham, Rice, lefty. But, you got to at least...
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to do this how we would do it or how we think they're going to do it?
Yeah, I would go...
Go ahead. You give me yours. Go ahead.
I would go Grisham, Rice...
Yep, Rice catching or playing first?
No, that's a good question.
He's going to play first. You got to keep Wells' bat in there. Watch. Rice at first, third Judge, right?
Yeah, he's going to be at first base. You're right, but I don't love the defense. But
Judge 3, Belly 4.
Yeah,
against the righty, Stanton 5,
and then Jazz.
Belly, Stanton, Jazz, probably Volpe.
So now you think they're going to go Grisham? Either way, they're getting back-to-back lefties. No.
Well, Rice. If it's Grisham and Rice, yes. Bellinger, Judge, Bellinger, and Stanton's broken up, and Stanton's a righty, Jazz is a lefty, so that's not a problem. Jazz is a lefty, Volpe's a righty,
right?
And then if you go Wells, say McMahon, you go McMahon 8 and Wells 9, you break up. Well, no, then either way, you're going to have McMahon and Volpe.
Right.
Pardon me, McMahon and Wells being lefties back to back.
So then let's
which
say
I don't care
let's say they don't go Rice 2, which is what I would do, and I'm not sure what they're going to do yet. By the way, I hope we get a lineup at some point before we get off the air.
We will.
I'd love to dissect that. Where's Jack Curry with that projected lineup?
Yeah, come on, Jack.
The projected real lineup.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's say they go Grisham, Judge, Belly, Stanton.
Hold on, Belly, Stanton. I'm not going Stanton 4 tonight.
Okay, so what would you do?
Myself. I like the...
My point is you're going to have...
I put Bellinger 4. Oh. I like him 4.
So you're going to go... Yeah, but then who are you hitting third?
I'm going to hit Judge third. I don't mind going lefty, Grisham, right, I'm cool with that.
So if they don't go Rice in the 2-hole...
Yep.
Then
they'll go Judge 2. Then I think they go Rice 3. Then they could go Stanton 4, but I would still go Bellinger before Stanton.
I think it's got to be Grisham, Rice, Judge. Just go Grisham. Let's not think too hard about it.
I don't mind Rice hitting third, though. I'm cool with Rice hitting third.
Protecting Judge? Yeah, I'd rather have Rice on in front of Judge. Get Grisham and Rice on in front of Judge, make them have to come in and Judge and do damage where even a base hit could drive in a run. Whereas last night, a single could just make it first and second or first and third. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what about the back end? Are we committed to a Jazz Volpe, McMahon, Wells?
Yeah, I'm not worried about the back end. And
I am. Yeah. I mean, you better get this right before the season's over.
I just don't think they have enough. If you go Grisham, Rice, Judge, Belly, Stanton, Jazz, Volpe, Wells, that's enough.
Yeah.
That's more than enough. What are you saying here?
So... I know we're talking about the lineup for the Yankees and how absurd some things are.
Yeah.
The Guardians are doing something even crazier. They're making an MLB debut for somebody today.
Who?
Chase DeLauder.
What position?
Center field.
Is he batting at the bottom?
He's batting 7th. But still, he's never played a game in the majors, and he's debuting today.
So he was on the roster. Did he play? He didn't play a regular season game, but he could play in the playoffs?
Yeah,
Well,
as long as you're a 40-man roster.
Is there an injury or why is that?
I don't know.
Dude, look.
Kwan's in a nasty funk. I mean, Kwan's not hitting at all for them.
Look at the Guardians lineup. I mean, it's just not that good. I mean,
they don't have the options the Yankees have, so I could see them trying to do something unconventional.
You look around at these lines. I mean, still, you're talking about game 2 of the postseason. It shows you baseball.
Could I give you some names? George Valera. What position he plays?
I have no idea.
Right field.
Oh, no, they have a good second baseman.
C.J. Kafus.
These are the
third
Guardians?
base. No, Ramirez is third base. DH.
First base. How about Brian Rocio? You might know him.
He's a good fielder.
Yeah.
Second base.
Well,
he's a second base.
Wasn't he shortstop last year?
A little bit of short,
Gabriel
yes, he did.
Arias is. I mean, they're nobodies. These guys are nobodies.
Well, you got Kwan, you got Ramirez.
If I'm Steve Cohen,
that's crazy.
If I'm Steve Cohen, and even Hal to an extent, obviously Cohen on the outside looking in, which is why I bring him up. But like, you look at, here he is Chase DeLauder making his MLB debut.
How old is he? I mean,
6th player to debut in the postseason. That's
I
unbelievable.
got to just at least look at his minor league
But
stats.
if you're Cohen or Hal, and you look around at these teams, at some of these lineups in the postseason, even the Red Sox, I'm looking at their lineup list, and I'm like, this team doesn't have enough. Like, I get defense and speed, and I do want the Mets to go more along those lines. These teams don't have it.
He was a first-round pick. All right, so he's one of their top dogs here. Minor leagues here. Hold on, Huff. It said he played 8 games in the for the Guardians this year.
It just said on TV he's making his major league debut. But
then it says Guardians ACL. It doesn't say MLB, which is, I guess, a minor league affiliate.
Either way.
Anyway.
Yeah, rookie ball, he's saying.
Rookie ball?
Look at these teams. I mean, these lineups.
Rookie. No, Hoff. No, hold on. You're right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry about that. My bad. You're right. Yep, you're right. He had 278 at AAA, 860 OPS. Okay, interesting.
Where's Spencer
luck,
Jones?
Guardians.
BT and Sal on the Spencer Jones in the lineup tonight. BT and Sal, the fan. Well, hopefully we get a Yankee lineup before we get off the air. Evan and Tiki be doing the show live from the stadium ahead of Game 2 tonight. More on that when we come back. Your calls 888-808-1019.
It's Boomer and Gio, mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
That's the payroll plus the amount of luxury tax that Steve Cohen has to pay for this team. He paid essentially almost $500 million to have this team. The fans showed up. The players did not.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
My name is Maria. Okay, I lied, it's Mary. But I'm feeling more European after my European-style holiday on MSC Cruises. The restaurants, nightlife and shops in La Galleria. And of course, American touches, like a sports bar and water slides. Bellissimo. Okay, this is a problem.
Book now, starting from $229, plus kids sale free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Your gut does more than just digest. It drives your energy, mood, and immunity. At Terra Origin, we blend ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with cutting-edge science to support your gut and whole body wellness. Since 2016, Healthy Gut is crafted with safe, powerful herbs, probiotics, and nutrients, rooted in tradition, proven by science. Feel better from the inside out. Terra Origin, ancient insight, modern wellness. Available at terraorigin.com and select retailers.
For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
We could tell you what it's like to drive the Nissan Rogue and tell you all about its performance capabilities, like its VC turbo engine, its impressive fuel economy. Still going. It's I can go virtually anywhere type of freedom. Nice. But you don't have to take our word for it. Go drive it for yourself. You're up. Experience the power of the Nissan Rogue.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue, Pathfinder, or Murano. For well-qualified buyers, example 0 down payment. 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to Nissan Motor Acceptance Company credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 11/3/25.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Sports with Evan and Tiki. Afternoons from 2 to 7. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 1:04. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they're the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. As you've probably heard by now, history is not on the Yankees' side. We have had 12 of these 3-game wildcard series so far, and the Game 1 winner has won all 12 with 10 sweeps. Another 6:08 first pitch for Game 2. Pre-game coverage 5:25 here on the Fan. Tiki and Evan at the stadium as well. The Guardians about to face elimination on their home field. The Cubs can sweep the Padres at Wrigley at 3, and Reds-Dodgers is once again the nightcap. Aaron Glenn says running back Braylon Allen has a pretty serious knee injury, is seeking a second opinion. The Browns have benched Joe Flacco for rookie QB Dylan Gabriel, who'll be the Browns' 41st starter since the franchise returned in 1999. And the Devils have ended their stalemate with restricted free agent defenseman Luke Hughes. It's a 7-year deal worth $63 million. Fan weather is sponsored by Duke's Mayonnaise. It's 63 degrees and sunny in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports Flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. 888-808-1019, the number to call. The BT and Sal Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. Hopefully we get to more Giant stuff ahead of their game against the Saints. Actually a big game coming up this weekend. They need to keep that momentum going with Jackson Dart. So we'll do plenty of that, of course, on Friday. Tomorrow's going to be a lot of reacting to the Yankee game from tonight as well. You heard the stat from Bogish right there, BT. I'm sure you saw it last night on the broadcast as well. I know Boone was asked about it. You think it's, first of all, whatever happened prior to this Yankee series or even currently around the league has nothing to do with the results of this series. So it may be 12 for 12 with game one teams or teams that win game one winning the wild card series. Do you think there is something to that, though? Why that would be the case? Or is it just an aberration or an anomaly to get things started with these wild card series?
I think there's not enough data yet to really come to a decisive conclusion like that. When you're talking a couple of years of information here, it's not long enough for me to come up with like a tried and true theory. I just think it's simple math. I mean, if you play a 3-game series and you win the first one, you're generally inclined to win one of the next 2.
Right. The fact, though, that nobody, it has nothing to do with home or away.
I don't think so.
We've seen road team, Padres did it to the Mets in 2022, so it's the road teams we've seen have success here. Yeah, I don't look at this and say, if the Red Sox would have lost game one, I think they would have been toast, and I think the Yankees would have definitively taken them out. Now I think the series is up for grabs here. Best of 3 up for grabs. It's always up for grabs, I guess, but I think it is odd that all 12 of the teams that won game one would have won those series, but I don't think that I know it doesn't have anything to do with this particular series. I also don't think that will stay true to form in this series. I just feel like the Yankees are better. I don't know why that would be the case with those 12, but I don't think that, Garrett Crochet pitched game one. Who's following up with game 2?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's a big, to me, the biggest reason is not that the Red Sox are better or not that they're hotter. Maybe that's been a result in the past. I don't know. I don't have the answers for it. I think it's odd, but I also don't think that would worry me if I'm a Yankee fan, because every team that's lost game one of this best of 3 wild card has won the series before.
Yeah, I've never even really gotten too wrapped up in, not that I don't know it or not aware of it, or when it's a point of reference, have a conversation about it, but even something as like when the Yankees flushed that massive lead down the chute in 2004, and you see all these times like in the NBA or even the NHL, no team coming back from an 0-3 deficit, or, when you're down 3-1, 77% of the teams advance. I love stats and I love numbers, so I process them, but I never lean on it as a reason to shape my opinion as to who's going to advance. Generally, I still look at who's the better team.
Yeah.
I think the Yankees are the better team, but now there's an inordinate amount of pressure tonight that was not quite there last night.
And maybe that's a part of it. The pressure aspect. Maybe. Yeah. Right, because like you said, best of 3, so it's a shorter series. You lose game one, it's like, and then you're getting tighter. Now,
could be.
I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with why. It is an odd thing that all 12 of the teams who won game one would eventually advance. Chris is calling from the Bronx. What's up, Chris?
Hey, guys. How's it going? Thanks for getting me on. I more wanted to talk about, I know everybody's blaming analytics and the Yankees choosing to go that way to do their lineup and to pull Fried. But I looked at it really simple, man. It was just player performance, right? We had players that didn't perform. Aaron Boone put Luke Weaver in the best position possible. Yep. Clean inning. All he had to do was get 2 outs, and he couldn't do that. Now we
against weak hitters. Against weak hitters, Chris. To your point,
against the bottom of the lineup. Yep. So I think Boone made a safe decision, right? He knew it's 50-50 with Weaver, it's 50-50 with Duvall, it's 50-50 with our whole bullpen. Mm-hmm. So he made the safest decision, put him in a good position, and that player just didn't perform. I think if we'd have got out that inning, the momentum would have been killed for Boston, and it'd have been tight, but we'd have maybe won that game 1-0.
Right, but
our bullpen
Chris, you're right, and everything you said so far has been spot on. But safe decision is not always the right one. He could have also said, well, damn, I've seen Luke Weaver all year long. I don't care who the lineup is or what position it is. I don't trust him. He trusted Weaver more than he trusted a tired Max Fried. To me, that was the mistake. Regardless of the result, that is not something that I would have done prior to the result of that inning.
And my only thing I'll push back on is just the opinion about pulling Fried. So he was already, the last 2 innings before that inning they pulled him, he had gotten a man on base every inning.
He did.
So we were blooping a blast from him coming out that game with a for sure loss.
Well, even the double play, Chris.
In hindsight, we don't know, but
Yep. No, you're right, Chris, and I'm happy that you bring that up because I think there's definitely 2 sides of the conversation. Good call, Chris. We appreciate it. Even the double play that he got out to end the 6th inning, that was hit pretty much. I don't know what the velo was, but Rosario had basically caught that ball behind him. I mean, almost between his legs and his glove was weird. That ball was hit hard. He got 2, so he got out of it there, and Chris is right in the respect that when you talk about the quick inning that the Yankees put crochet through, I'll put quotes around that, in the bottom of the 7th with 6 pitches. Bellinger 3, Stanton 1, Rosario 2. In the top of the 4th, Fried through 24. In the top of the 50 through 18. In the top of the 60 through 20. I mean, that's higher duress and exertion than you want for back-to-back-to-back innings. So I don't know that it was like a no-brain failure by Boone, but I would have preferred somebody other than Weaver. First of all, I would have preferred Fried. Give him another batter. If you're going to take Fried out, if you make the determination Fried's on fumes and he's been laboring, there's a case that could be made there. I get that. You can't go to Weaver there.
See, I do think that there's a case to be made. I just disagree with it. Like, I would rather, I've said this 100 times, to say it again. And to our last call, I'll ask you the same question and have to answer it because we already hung up and moved on. But the question is, do you trust a fully rested, ready to go Luke Weaver against the bottom part of the order, or a tired, fatigued Max Fried? For me, I'd rather just go with Max Fried. Like, it's doesn't mean that Fried's going to be perfect and get the job done. I am not going to Weaver in that spot. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to anybody in that spot. Like, I'll counter you there, BT, and say, you would say, well, you don't want to go to Weaver. Well, what are the other options? What's your best option? You can't go to Bednar, who's your most trusted closer. To me, Devin Williams is the second most trusted pitcher. Mm-hmm. Who's behind them? You going to go to Cruz there? I mean, is that would have been your guy? Like,
I do like Cruz better than Weaver. Not everybody agrees. You know, he's got that nasty splitter, doesn't throw strikes all the time. I get it. It's a dangerous dance with Cruz. But I know I like Cruz.
Yeah, but also maybe they would have felt, okay, if I need Cruz, I'm going to go to him in a higher leverage spot as opposed to trying to get 2 outs. What Boone was trying to do is sneak 2 outs to get to his main guys, feeling safe that I got to go to one of my more trusted arms, and that's, oh, God, this guy just misplayed a bones.
The new guy?
I mean, this is unbelievable here. I'm sorry. We got to interrupt the Yankee talk for a second. Yeah, that's what you're doing. It's Major League Baseball. It's the playoffs. They play a rookie. His first big league game in center field. The guy drops a pop-up in center field.
It was a pop-up?
Look at this.
I'm looking at it.
It's a routine fly ball in center field.
Oh, this poor kid, man.
Literally, you or I or Cole could have caught that.
Oh,
I mean, this is the big league, son. Come on.
Is it windy?
The Cleveland Guardians and the AL Central are an embarrassment to Major League Baseball. How do you start a guy who's never played in a big league game in center field, and in the first inning he drops a pop-up? To call that a can of corn would be disrespectful to that. Like, that is...
Now, was it windy? And it is sunny.
No,
I hope this kid hits a home run today. Come on. Think about a first-round pick. Well, what does he think they're showing him now? What does he think? He just cursed to himself.
Dropped an F-bomb. Yeah.
You know what, though? He'll plow through. Come on, man. I mean, that's an ugly drop. That was worse than Judge's in the world. Actually, Judge's was probably a little bit worse because that was right at Judge. This one was
no, but
right.
At least Judge was coming in to try to make a play, took his eyes off it, maybe a little prematurely.
Don't make an excuse. Took his eyes off. Maybe this kid took his eyes off it.
Dude, this game was a can. It was a can of corn.
Yeah, it was a tough one. Yikes!
It doesn't bother me that he dropped the ball as much as this. They get what they deserve. They're a team that is in the postseason that won a division, and they have to start a rookie that's never played before in center field. Like, the only thing worse than that would have been starting Jose Siri, Cedric Mullins, or Jeff McNeil in center field. Like, what are we doing here? Good God.
Dude, it is windy. Hold on. I'm going to give this kid a little bit of a pass. So there was a pop-up to Ramirez, right?
Yeah.
That wound up going in the camera well, where the cameras are by the dugout. Yeah. And it looked like he was camping under it, and then his body, like, jolted fairly suddenly. I think this wind is an issue. Look at the flag in center field.
It hit his glove.
It's windy. That's a massive flag, and it's blowing.
Oh,
I'm gonna look at these. See, and now
it's windy.
And now ESPN, I think is showing the flag. That is windy. That kid gets a pass in center field.
Even more so. Put a big leaguer in center field, and it'll make the play. Windy. Anyway, where were we with the Yankees? Were we talking about the relievers still?
Yes.
I forget.
He was trying to steal 2 outs, basically.
Yeah. So my thing is just ride with your best guy. Like, there is no doubt. We could dispute who you trust in the bullpen, who you don't, who he's going to need. Like, he's going to need Luke Weaver at some point.
Well, nobody's got 100% trust. That's the problem.
And you're going to need those guys to get big outs.
Yep.
But if you have nobody's going to dispute the Yankees' best pitcher is Max Fried. So in that spot, in game 1, a tight game with a lead, in the 7th inning, when he had already just gotten out, that's the time to push your best pitcher as opposed to dig into the bullpen. There's going to become a time, if you're lucky enough here, where you're going to have to go to the bullpen beyond just Williams and Bednar. You didn't have to do it just then. That's why I wouldn't have done it.
Well, and that's why, when you look at the ability, now, Crochet delivered, and they let him go almost 120 pitches. He's a horse. He's also bigger, 6'5", 250. Fried's amazing, but he's a beanpole, and maybe he did get tired. I don't know. But you
heard his comments after the game,
did.
right?
I heard them all. No, he wasn't tired. And he flew over to first base on that Durant cover. Durant flies,
He did
too.
say he used a lot of energy to get, certain outs, but
I think he was protecting Boone there because the other answer that you isolate, he's like, no, I want to finish what I started. He was a pro by not taking a train to the back of Boone, but what I heard from that, he wanted to stay in the game.
He also, though, could have showed a little more sack.
Agreed.
Now, I'm not saying you got to come in like Matt Harvey and be like, get the hell out of my way, I'm taking the ball here.
Yep.
You could have said, let me finish this. Bottom of the order, let me get knocked out. This is my game, let me finish.
Yes.
To get through. He didn't do that either.
It shouldn't be.
He was resigned to Boone saying, hey, can you get more? And he said, yeah.
And him saying, okay. At least it's got to be, hey, Skip, I'm good.
Yeah.
Let me go till somebody gets on base. I'm good.
Bingo.
I feel real. I got it.
Yeah, let me go.
And then if he says no, all right, there's a point where you got to check out of the conversation and acquiesce to the man of the decision maker. But the math of it, we talk about the math with the pitches thrown in the analytics. The simple math, this is the most important math, is that Aaron Boone tried to get 8 outs in people that we don't trust as much as Max Fried, and Cora got 4 outs with somebody that he absolutely explicitly trusts in his closer, advantage Red Sox.
But that's going to change significantly tonight.
You hope.
The part about the Yankees is not, they're still going to have to get big outs from guys that we don't fully trust, but the Red Sox, good luck with that. Glenn is calling from Wappingers Falls. What's up, Glenn?
Glenn, what's happening,
Hey, guys,
buddy?
what's up?
Oh.
Hey, what's up? Love listening to you guys. BT, we get that youth sports thing going. So anyway, to go to Boone. Boone manages scared. When the camera's on him, he never looks comfortable. He always looks tense and nervous, okay? And I don't get taking Fried out with no outs. I don't get it, but I don't know what the conversation was with them. But I said to my wife last night, and I'm guilty of listening to Frances's podcast, why do you pitch to Bregman there? I said to my wife, this guy's a killer. He's a clutch player. Do not pitch to him with a base open. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming.
And he rifles
and
one.
I also...
Yep.
Yeah,
he's the one
man,
guy in the lineup that could maybe beat you. Everybody else is not really a threat. To me, Bregman's the one guy that you worry
he's
about
done
doing
it
damage.
how many times? He's done it a million times. And then, in closing, you guys hit on play your best athletes, man. Just play your best athletes. No matter what sport you're doing, put your best athletes on the field and let them beat them. That's it. Love you guys. Bye.
Thank you, Glenn. Appreciate the call.
Speaking of stats, this kind of gets lost in the wash here because we referenced it, but Anthony Volpe looked phenomenal last night. I was so happy for him. And I knew that he obviously played well last year, the Grand Slam, hit the ball hard. I could not believe this stat. So Volpe last night became the first shortstop, and it's a small sample, but it's still amazing based on where he's been this year. First shortstop in Major League history with 15 hits and 10 walks in his first 15 postseason games. Think about that.
Yeah.
For a guy, we were having a month-long discussion. No matter where you stood, send him down. You were saying send him down. I was saying bench him. A poor kid was, and rightfully so, hearing it from every angle because he was really having a rough go. That's it's weird. Like in October, again, not to overstate it, it's a small sample, but he plays more calm in October. It's very strange.
It's also a reason why when we had this conversation a few weeks ago, anticipating the Yankee postseason lineup, I would have rolled the dice with Volpe because his upside to me outweighs. Like he leveled when he came back. He started to level off again a little bit.
When he got the cortisone shot, you're talking about, right? Yeah,
meaning defensively,
yes,
it wasn't the yips and he started to show you a little bit. And to me, that outweighs what Caballero can bring. Plus, you have Caballero off the bench, ideally, and and look, going back years ago. Now, obviously, it's been 3 years, and nobody can dispute it anymore. Anthony Volpe's been a bust in the regular season, but nobody cares about that if he has success in the postseason. But I thought he was going to be one of the difference makers for this Yankees lineup going back years ago in the playoffs, hitting good pitching and being that type of threat. So you've seen that a little bit. Obviously, you need a lot more of it, but he was, one of the lone bright spots last night.
And by the way, I saw a stat. I think it's interesting. Yankee Stadium right field small. That was 105 miles an hour off the bat to right field, and that would have been, ironically, a home run in every single major league stadium. I like when they do that. You get a sense of where it was hit outside of Fenway Park in right field. Every other one. Yep.
BT, I didn't know that. BT and Sal on the Fan. More your calls when we come back. 888-808-1 1019, the number to call. Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
I'm Michael Jenkins, helping you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. We're taking the Dodgers on the first 5 run line tonight in Game 2 of their wild card matchup against the Reds. The Dodgers off